Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to Rise Up After Dark. It is Wednesday, April 15th, tax day. Hope you made the deadline or filed for an extension. Great to be here with you as always. It's your place to DYOR, BYOB. We're going to let our hair down, hypothetically, metaphorically speaking. Talk a little shit about the crypto industry. I'm Evan, joined as always by my good friend and colleague, Mr. Alex Popovich. Will sends his regards from Mexico, where he is feeling the love. Right, Alex?
I mean, he's hammered, so.
In Mexico, there's probably a beach. He's probably there with Violet. He's senorita, and you know, life's pretty good, I would say, if you're Will Watson.
You're a loser.
Listen, man, we miss you, and we'll see you back soon. Alex, how the heck are you doing tonight?
Good. It was just a really, really nice day here. So I'm enjoying, like, you know, we're in that piece of weather in Georgia, you know, where it's like perfect outside, and we have like a little bit here before it's going to be, you know, 110 and a 99% humidity and awful, and you're damp the second you walk out of your door, and full swamp. So I'm enjoying it. It was really nice today.
Is that the official term for summer there on Tybee Island? Full swamp?
Full swamp. Yeah.
Full
you know,
swamp.
Dude, and even after whatever it's been, 8 years, 7 years, something like that, if I ever fly anywhere else that doesn't have 100% humidity and I come back here, the second you get off the airplane and you just take that second, you're just like, oh yeah, back in the swamp.
Yeah.
That's
like walking into a wet blanket that somebody just pulled out of the dryer. Ooh. Everybody's here.
It's awesome.
And Steckler says, we had it last week, so people know. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you've got a crypto question, leave it in the comments. And if we miss your question, then the best place to leave it is, of course, community.rumshq.com. Wherever you are, whenever you listen, if you click the link in our bio, if you go to our page, you will find this helpful link. It is a free to join place. All kinds of crypto users can get together to share what they know, learn, grow, ask questions, get a second opinion, and we say, rise up. We've got forums, we've got memberships, we've got digital products to help accelerate your learning journey, save you time and money. Don't get scammed if you're a crypto user. Don't make the same mistakes I did. That's the vibe. It feels exclusive, maybe, but hey, you're invited. And one more shout out, of course, is to the official cold storage sponsor of Rise Up Media. I'm talking about Arculus. If you are a crypto user and you're exploring self-custody, thinking about cold storage, the safest way to custody your own assets, and you haven't checked out Arculus, you're doing yourself a disservice. Get Arculus.com or at This Is Arculus on all socials. You can find their product, tutorials for it, get in touch with customer support. The company that secures trillions of dollars with that chip in your Visa card has now applied their talents. Taken their talents to the cryptocurrency industry. They're an excellent team. They stand behind what they do, and we have a lot of choices. We've used a lot of wallets, but Arculus is the one we partner with because they really are our favorite. So thank you to Arculus for making great education possible. Check them out and use the code ARCURUMS10, spelled just like it sounds, to get 10% off your order. And if you hear the sounds on the board that go like this, it means that somebody we are speaking about, somebody who's speaking maybe has gotten a point. If you hear this sound, means that somebody tonight is losing a point. And fun fact, World Liberty Finance is already one in the hole.
Give them another one for good measure. They've had a real bad week.
And you know what? Technically, I hit the sound effect to explain it, so I guess that's 3. And Seavish is first in the YouTube comments, so I am going to give him a... If somebody you hear or somebody you're thinking about deserves a point or a gwump, then let us know. Amy Street was supposed to be our guest tonight. Friend of the show, returning again to Rise Up, has let us know that she cannot make it. She had some travel delays and is taking care of something. So we love you, Amy. We appreciate you for making time, for letting us know, and we cannot wait to host you back on the show. If you're listening live, put a W in the chat and check her out at Amy Street on X or on TikTok, where she will rate your profile picture at I am Amy Street. Alex, I mentioned World Liberty Financial, and apparently It's the big story today.
Again.
And I missed it. So read me in, man. What the heck is going on with World Liberty Finance now? They rugged $80 million of USDC from the Dolomite Vault after putting up 5 billion of their own tokens as collateral. And now they've tried to resolve the conflict by what?
Yeah. So remember we were talking about, so there's multiple tokens in this ecosystem and it just keeps getting worse. So the WLFI token is governance. And for those in podcast land, I'm putting that in air quotes because it's not really governance. It's a sham, meaning you can't propose anything. You get to vote on what they tell you you're allowed to vote on. And spoiler alert, I promise that if the vote is ever going the direction they don't want it to, they will pull a crypto.com and just put their finger on the scale. So a proposal was proposed today and it's really bad.
No way to sugarcoat it.
Yeah. If you want to, I mean, dude, if you're in any way, shape or form on crypto Twitter, just take a scroll. Every post is about it right now. Every post from all of them. I mean, all of the major influencers, any of the dollar store KOLs, the psychopaths like Nick, the guy who taped himself to a cardboard and got kicked off a yacht in the middle of the ocean, then was subsequently fired from Avalanche.
I told you, I'm pretty sure that's satire.
It could be. He's still an absolute moron. And,
I don't know, man. I think he's all right. I used to think so. Well, I'm getting you away from it, but
I love you dearly. I think a little bit less of you, if that's your real opinion.
Man,
just a little.
I would encourage you to keep an open mind. Have you seen the interviews with him?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
For me or for Nick?
You.
Well, then I'm going to give you one.
Take one too.
Damn,
you walk right into that one.
I'm going to give you one right back for your closed-mindedness.
That's a diabolical opinion. Dude, I've known who Nick O'Neill is for years, and I've never seen anything from him that didn't make me want to jump off a bridge.
Okay, well, I'll keep an open mind, and we'll talk about it another time.
Sure,
you tell me about this World Liberty Finance proposal.
Okay. Anyway.
This guy.
I'm trying to find a better written analysis of this one. I mean, Laura Shin, of course, posted an open-ended question about it, looking for commentary. Laura has also been just like eating popcorn while quote tweeting every back and forth from Justin Sun and World Liberty as they spat with each other. Justin Sun notably has now renamed it World Tyranny and is just posting a bunch of commentary there. The account Peter Gurnis, which is satirically pretending to be various positions at World Liberty, but also is providing unbelievably well-written and publicly verifiable analysis of various pieces of this whole thing. Also did a post about it. So effectively what happened is they proposed some amendments to their token unlock. And they've added some conditions to it for holders and community members and supporters to consider as they vote. So let me read you guys these conditions and tell me what you think. Imagine put yourself in the shoes of a community member, a token holder. So let me paint the picture for all of us. Where you're holding a token. I don't know why you're holding it, but you're holding it. That's where we're at. It's down a lot. And the writing is on the wall. Things are not going great for this project. It's continuing to crash. You might be thinking, man, I'd love to get out of this with at least a little bit of my dignity left intact. Too bad. So World Liberty Financial is proposing unlocking that are currently locked 62.3 billion tokens. That's a lot. Less than a week after it was reported that they used 5 billion as collateral to borrow the 75 million in stablecoins from Dolomite, rendering the platform basically unusable for everybody else. Notably, the co-founder of Dolomite is also a World Liberty Financial advisor. So definitely no conflict of interest there. So the government, or the government, Freudian slip. The governance mechanics here are the story. So the quorum just to pass a proposal is 1 billion tokens with a simple majority. So that's a threshold that the founders and the team could hit with a tiny little slice of what they have.
I want to let the people know that the total supply is 100 billion. Yeah, so that's the pie.
Yeah. So we're talking about the proposal here is to unlock 62%, 0.3% technically, of the remaining locked supply.
And did I hear you correctly to say the threshold to submit one is 1%?
No.
Okay.
The quorum to vote so quorum would be the threshold required to say that enough votes have been cast to allow the passing or the failure of a proposal to stand.
Wow.
1%. Yeah. Try that one on for size. That's good. It would be worth, I don't know them off the top of my head, Evan, but maybe a background fact check or Bearded. A good one would be like other examples of quorums in different DAOs around, because I've definitely seen, I've definitely seen proposals fail for failing to meet quorum on the votes.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like it's double digit percentages, and it's like 40 to 50% is what I tend to see. Although the bigger DAOs like Aave is probably much smaller. Probably like 10%. We can fact check.
Okay. Yeah, I can look that up after this too. So anyway, only need 1 billion. So founders or a team, single team member, whatever, could pass or fail something just based on, barely needing to move anything. So the new terms, early buyers. So these were early investors in the project. A 2-year cliff followed by a 2-year linear vest, meaning that tokens do not start unlocking until year 2 and would not be fully distributed until year 4. That extends just past January 2029, which just so happens to be right after Donald Trump is out of office at the end of his second term. The default, if you do not vote, so holders who do not affirmatively accept, this is even worse than just like it failing as I read this. And this seems to be the consensus, and it's not written very well, so it's kind of hard to say, go figure. But this reads as if you don't vote, so like even if you do vote, but in the negative, and the thing passes, I'm reading that they're still going to punish you for voting against them. So holders who do not affirmatively accept the new vesting terms keep their tokens locked, quote, indefinitely.
They hold them hostage?
Yes.
Okay.
I do not see any. This is from World Liberty's post itself, which, by the way, I quote tweeted with just diabolical, because the opening line is this is the quote. I'll put it on the screen here. Stand by. There it is. We've just posted a governance proposal to the forum for community discussion, and we believe it represents one of the strongest long-term governance alignment signals in DeFi. Here's what it does.
Another GPT special.
Yeah, another GPT special. Absolutely. You gotta wonder, what's the prompt? Like, hey, today is Shaft All the Investors Week, and so we want to keep the ball rolling with a diabolical governance proposal. What do you got for me? Make it as bad as you possibly can.
You are the Chief Communication Officer of World Liberty Financial. Do not make any mistakes.
No mistakes. Make sure it hoses all the investors, but not us, not the team.
We're going for max extraction.
Max extract. Every advisor, institution, partner, founder, and team member locked token, which is all 45.2 billion WLFI, is assigned to a 2-year cliff with a 3-year linear. Sorry, I said 2 earlier. I meant 3. 3-year linear vest upon opting in, and subject to a 10% burn upon doing so. So you can opt into this unlock for the low price of 10% of the tokens that you bought being burned.
Oh, no.
And they're bragging that means that up to 4.5 billion WLFI will be permanently destroyed if this is accepted. So notably, not from them, from the holders. This is the least favorable unlock terms in this proposal and is subject to a mandatory burn upon opt-in. They wrote the same sentence twice in the same stanza here, so that's something special. For early supporters, all 17.043 billion tokens locked early, supporter tokens locked early, move to a 2-year cliff, followed by a 2-year linear vest. Full allocation retained, no burn. So the early pre-sale investors do not have to burn. Everyone else is the one who will they'll fund the burn. Holders who do
okay.
Holders who do, this is word for word. Holders who do not affirmatively accept the new schedule remain locked indefinitely under existing terms.
Yeah.
Period. That's
you don't vote,
crazy.
you don't get it.
That I mean, like I said, this is not written well. Meaning that there is no appreciation for like nuance, and it's written by someone who's clearly never done this before. Or it is intended to be this black and white. If you don't agree with us, your tokens stay locked forever, even if the proposal to me, this says a couple things. To me, like the way that I read this says, hey, Buttercup, this is going to pass whether you like it or not, so you might as well just vote for it. And if you don't vote for it, and even though it's going to pass anyway, because let's be honest, it will, we're going to lock your tokens forever. Why does this matter? 62.2 billion WLFI tokens are subject to this proposal, and if passed, will remain committed to governance participation for at least 2 years. Again, that makes no sense, and it sounds like I'm trying to like sit. Do you have any idea what they mean by that? Because I don't know what they mean by that.
It's not clear to me. I think it means though that
it's not clear to me.
No, all that's clear is this is already several weeks ago, too many nails in the coffin. This is like whatnot. Could you imagine if a real DeFi protocol did this? How people would react?
Oh my God. Well, they would be reacting the same way that this is. Everyone is calling this like daylight robbery, like a straight crime, max extract. I'm talking about like people who were supporters, people who are fans, people who I know voted for the guy, like all this kind of stuff are looking at this, and rightfully so, concerned and pissed. I mean, I genuinely don't know how to read that sentence, dude. I don't know what that means. It says, if passed. Okay, so 62.2 billion tokens are subject to this proposal, and if passed, will remain committed to governance participation for at least 2 years.
I'm looking at it, and I am not sure.
Now,
I think they're saying
that's
the next sentence matters. I think they're saying the rest of those tokens would be burned permanently.
No, because this burn upon opt-in refers back to this 10% from the community's token.
So I'm thinking then that it's 10% of 62 billion. I worry we're losing people in the weeds talking about big numbers in an audio format.
It's the burn is 10% of up to 45.2 billion, which is the
what they're trying to say, especially for the next paragraph, is every team member remains locked in for governance participation for a minimum of 2 years. So they're saying like, hey, after this, we're going to be in it for the long run. There will be a lower supply. They're trying to communicate signals of value so that people who are in now are early. That's what I think they're doing. I think it's like saying, hey, I'm the dev. I'm locking 10% of the supply until 2050. So have faith in this project.
To me, this is supposed to be some sort of like half-assed, like, hey, we're not going to dump all these tokens. Like, we're going to keep them, and we're going to keep voting on stuff with them, because the 62 billion is the team and the insiders stash. That's like early advisors and contributing institutions, people who have made significant purchases, half of the Middle East. That's like yesterday on Trust Issue, we were talking about this. That this is like the Aqua One, this is the UAE, this is the Sheik.
So these tokens aren't going anywhere. We're not going to sell them for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
We just took $80 million, but these tokens we're not going to sell. And if you opt into this proposal, then you will get to sell one day.
Yeah. You'll get to sell one day. And literally there's no clarification. Then they end this tweet with some straight nonsense. USD1, fastest growing stablecoin in history.
That's actually true.
False.
That's actually true.
Okay.
Fastest to $1 billion market cap. It is.
Yeah, and then it stopped. Then it promptly stopped growing and hasn't really grown since.
And maybe people don't use it, but it is. I am sure that's what they mean. The fastest growing to $1 billion in history, like Trump's meme token.
I know what they mean.
Fastest token
I know
in
what they
history
mean,
too.
and it's misleading. It's effectively a lie, and it's meant to swindle.
Listen, man, I'm reading this on social media. If it's fast and it's cheap, and especially if its name isn't Ethereum, I want it. Give it to me.
Amen.
Take my money.
Yeah, because gas on Ethereum is still $30, right?
Oh, I mean,
I don't know how to sell this thing.
It's okay. Just tell me you've never used a blockchain in your life, and we'll move on.
I'd rather double down and call you names.
Fair enough. Anyway, this is ridiculous. I'm exhausted. Every day now for this week, I've woken up and there's been a new just crazy thing. Jeff says that Coach Ty said to buy it. Then it must be a good buy.
Did he really?
Gwump for the grifter.
Yeah.
I have it on good authority that man has admitted to not knowing what any of this stuff is. He just goes where the money goes. He just does whatever people pay him to say.
Shocking.
Anyway, if you don't vote in favor of this, then your tokens are locked indefinitely, and it's up to you. Like whatever indefinitely means. And then the Justin Sun stuff it's going scorched earth over there. He's their largest single investor, non-entity. He's publicly accusing the team of having a, quote, hidden blacklisting function in the token contract, giving them unilateral power to freeze holder assets. Probably true. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And then World Liberty is threatening to take him to court, and he said, great, show me, let's go to court. And then, like we said on Trust Issues yesterday, like discovery is a thing. So any one of those two people, Justin Sun or World Liberty, saying that they welcome their day in court, it's got to just be posturing and chest puffing, because neither one of them wants to go through discovery.
No.
Anyway, the token is down again. So on news of this, so go figure. It's going great.
Again, I say shocked.
You're total grifters. These pests.
Alex, you know why that they're not playing more fair ball games?
What?
Because they don't fucking have to.
Which reminds me that favorite most returning guest, William Quigley, will be back on the show tomorrow. Don't miss him. And Shirley was talking to me about all of us getting together. She said, will you be in Miami? I said, yeah. I said, tell us where William's going to be.
Yeah,
you can maybe catch his DJ set.
Tell us where DJ Willie Quiggs is going to be spinning.
Okay, let us know what you think about this World Liberty Finance story, what your questions are in the comments. We have a really good follow-up question from one neuropathic, but I wanted to give you this fact-checked first, that Aave DAO, the largest decentralized autonomous organization that recently had a major governance vote, currently requires a quorum of 15% of the total circulating Aave supply for short proposals, time frame, and 20% for longer timeframes. This is high compared to several other protocols I was looking at. It looks like 1 to 5 is actually pretty good for bigger DeFi protocols.
My speculation would be that protocols like Aave, who are using their token for governance, but it also gets used on the protocol, would want it to be lower. Otherwise, everything would fail, because they would hope that the token is being used for stuff. Which is interesting, because Jito went a different direction, right? They have Jito Sol, which is what you would be doing a lot of your DeFi stuff with, that and Sol, and then JTO is separate. While there is DeFi stuff for JTO, it's more specifically just for voting. Different approaches.
Yeah. I want to give out a couple of to Satoshi Nakamoto in the comments, who said, I heard Ethereum is old and clunky. So you heard it here first, folks, from Satoshi.
Check yourself,
and
brother.
This neuropathic question, let's go back to this. They wanted to know how this, meaning all the drama around World Liberty Finance and the declining token price, is going to affect USD1. And I've got a little just helpful information and context. We were talking about, the claim that it's the fastest growing. This is World Liberty Finance's stablecoin. And it is backed 1-to-1 by cash, short-term treasuries, money market funds, other cash equivalents. They have reserve assets maintained by BitGo, and they say it's redeemable 1-to-1, fully reserved, They publish reporting and proof of reserves on their website, though I don't know who does it or how up to date it is. I'm getting this from a search, so I would need to fact check this. And so in normal circumstances, what I think really, is the story, I'll tell you, is when you gave them, in the proverbial sense, all your money in their pre-sale, and then Justin Sun wrote them a $75 million check. What they did with that was they gave you tokens, World Liberty Finance tokens, that were worth nothing, and they bought Bitcoin, and they bought ETH, and they bought everything. And that is how they made this stablecoin valuable, more so than that people rushed to buy it to go yield farm with it. It wasn't really super plugged into DeFi. So if World Liberty Finance collapses and it damages the confidence people have in the project, people, I think, might rush to redeem their tokens. Then the question becomes, are the reserves actually there? Are they liquid, or did the Trump family move them off platform, loan them out, do something else with them, like they did with those World Liberty Finance tokens that they exchanged for USDC? What are they doing with that USDC? And will we be able to get it back? Alex, do you have anything else to add? I think it will trend downwards as confidence in the project diminishes. But hypothetically, the token World Liberty Finance and USD1 they're not backed by, the same thing.
No. This is going to sound like a silly comparison, but I'm actually being serious. So I know the instinct is going to be to laugh at this. Evan's going to laugh when I say this, but it's actually a good comparison. So bear with me.
Okay.
USD1 is like the Trump Bible. Okay.
I'm not laughing yet. I'm with you.
Technically, it is what they say it is. Like, it is a stable coin. But it's not a good one. And they've added some of their own stuff to it to make sure that they make more money from its existence, to pretend that they've done something revolutionary and unique. And then they specifically crafted laws and policy that would get passed to make sure that that is the best option, because it fits into these weird rules that have been created. Like how the state of, was it Oklahoma, passed these weird things about how there has to be a Bible in every classroom, and they have to conform to very specific things, like weird rules, like it has to have a copy of the Pledge of Allegiance written inside of it. And wouldn't you know it, there's only one Bible in print that has the Pledge of Allegiance inside of it, and it's that one. So it's the same idea. Create a scummy, grifty product that really isn't anything special and is just a reskin of something that already existed, and then create a framework from a position of power to wherein that is the one you have to use because of some odd rule. Sell it to everybody that has to buy it now because they have no choice but to follow the law. Emily's speculation is that because Genius and Clarity are very favorable towards the World Liberty structure, with specific licensing, and to USD1 specifically with its backing composition, that we're going to end up in a world where other stablecoins will be made whose backing requirements are to hold USD1 in their treasury. And if you want to play ball in the United States, you have to then hold USD1 to inflate its supply, even though you're not doing anything with it. And then the peg is less important.
100%. I've been saying that since the start of World Liberty, that the president is making his own bank and going to use the power of the office to force people to use it. And then craft legislation or influence the crafting of it that solidifies that will into law, and then leaves the presidency and can run an effective business with all the money he raised and all the laws that will help him do it.
Yeah. So the writing's on the wall. These things are not well built. They're not being run well, and all of it is public and anybody can read it. Their one big mistake was putting it all on chain as their grift instead of not. And so you can follow a lot more than they think you were going to follow. And I think that that's coming back to bite them. Anyway.
Ouch. Okay. World Liberty Finance, plenty of gwumps to go around. Add the Board of Peace too, says Michi Rose.
Oh yeah. The Board of Peace, whose first directive was to start a war. Huzzah. Your mom in the comments over here is unfortunately breaking the news that one of those Metallica Shill Festival live streams was talking shit about us earlier.
Hell yeah, I love it. I love it. There's nothing. Oscar Wilde said it better than I could. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. So
I want to know what they said.
I do too. Who was it? Can I watch it later?
I don't know. Every time I go in there, the conversation goes the same way. I ask a question to be a little bit annoying. I ask a question that I may or may not know the answer to, knowing it's not going to get answered. Somebody reads me a brochure, and then it's CCS just gets summoned out of the ground, and then he starts yelling at me, and then he accuses me of not answering questions. Like his last direct response to me asking him a question was to say, "Are you going to answer my question?" And then he never answered my question. So it's a fun little, it's a little back and forth. It's a little game that we play.
It's a little game that we play. It's a pastime, if you will. We had another good.
I'm rooting for it. I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad. I feel bad when people get taken advantage of by flowery marketing language. But you know what? I already know how that ship's going to go. So.
Dude, me too. I made a video earlier today in the wake of one where I said, thinking that I told you about this already. We'll see is a valid response to like the XRP hype mill. It could happen. I've made some follow-up videos answering people's questions about why it's not valid to compare XRP to Bitcoin, and just because Bitcoin did, XRP can, and you got to wait and you got to see. And in one of them, I expressed some irritation, I think, and somebody said, "Hey, this comes across as a little ranty," and I said, "Hey, man, I appreciate the feedback. This is not personal. I'm not mad at anyone." I said,
"Thank you."
Yeah, give me the red light. I said, but I am really tired of everybody, all of my peers in the crypto industry. Whenever I go to a conference, nobody is talking about it. Nobody is buying it. Nobody is rushing to use it. The people at the center are not excited about it, like consumers, retailers, and mostly like salt of the earth, blue collar people on social media who don't have the money to lose on some billionaire's kids trust fund are excited about it. And that pisses me off. So I said, I'll try and channel my rage in a more productive direction. But
yeah, no, I mean, don't do that. First of all, your rage is right where it needs to be. I don't know.
My anger translator.
Things like that, not unique to any specific token, but things like that really bother me, because imagine, like, just put yourself in the position. Maybe you've been here for a little bit, and so you have a little bit more experience, and you're listening to this stuff, and it's easier for you to like filter out noise. But imagine that you are like hearing about all this for the first time from a credible source, like the news, or this is a joke, the government, or
I was like, damn, Alex,
or a bank,
you're square.
I should not have said credible. I should have said like public facing,
an establishment source. Yeah.
Some sort of like recognizable mouthpiece.
Sure.
To the point where you hear it being talked about on your favorite news channel, or your favorite politician, or your favorite bank, your brokerage, your retirement account brokerage, whatever it is. And you're like, oh, okay. I'll look up some stuff and see what I can find. And the first thing you see is like a bunch of people who are pretending that they've like cracked a code to not tell you like, hey, this could be worth a little bit of a risk. There's a chance that this thing like really pops off and gets, no, they're trying to convince you that this is like the new world order, and everything on earth is going to at some point real soon switch to this thing. And oh yeah, don't only put in what you can afford to lose, but I'm telling you, the whole world's financial system is going to run on this thing. And you're sitting here listening to this, you're like, oh man, well, I really don't want to seem stupid. I don't want to like ask a question about this. And then you do ask a question, and then they give you some sort of cookie cutter brochure of an answer that, like anybody can read and parrot back to you. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, that was a quick retort. And I didn't know what 80% of the words in that sentence mean, and I don't want to look dumb. So that sounds good. I guess I'm going to buy some. They seem really sure of it, and they sound smart. I'm going to buy a lot of it. That's the part that pisses me off. I don't care if some cult of nitwits wants to sink their life savings into something because they've all agreed that despite evidence and despite pushback and despite objectivity and any semblance of critical thinking, that they're not to be convinced or swayed, and like, this is it. This is where I'm going. But then I think about the collateral damage. Someone who like swipes through that live and hears this, and it sounds really compelling for a second, and they go put $1,000 into it that they really couldn't afford to lose because, man, these people just seemed so sure.
I just got to read some of these reactionary comments because they're killing me. Michi Rose said, every time they have awesome graphics too. So profesh. And
Notes profesh.
Seavish and Magic are going back and forth here. I think they were talking about your anger response. Summoned out of the ground like Orochimaru. Alex, says Seavish, I bet your eyebrows that XRP will never get to 1,000.
Wait, you bet my eyebrows?
Yeah, right.
That's
it's like spending Will's money.
Code
or his black
Build your
wardrobe.
own eyebrows.
Yeah, right. No. You get we're spending your eyebrows like we're spending Will's money. Just wild. There's a really another good question, like doubling back on this this USD1 thing, because this is another thing that people get out of touch about, right? And we got to speak truth to. It was back in the comments talking about USD1 and the relationship between different people who hold it. The question was like, how can we tell? Does anybody actually use USD1? And check this out, Alex. You know this resource, but I want to share it with people. This is intel.arkham, ARKM.com. Podcast people, if you want the screen share, go to YouTube. We got it in a playlist for you. You can search this dashboard for a lot of different stuff.
Arkham is super underrated. Like I continually like need something and then realize Arkham is like easily one of the best places to get it. I'm like, why don't I spend more time here?
It's an excellent resource. So I'm going to type in USD1. Oh, got to click the little my first day using a computer. All right. Okay. All right. And here it is, USD1. I recognize it by the ticker and the look. And this takes me to a dashboard that shows me first and foremost the price and the entities that hold it by the balance change or by top flows. I can toggle it so I can see where money is moved from which wallets. And they flag these wallets if they are confirmed as like known by someone. Like you can see this one is the Dolomite deposit withdrawal router, the Dolomite margin balance. And oh, look, entity balance changes. It looks like the entity that has the most of this token, $33 million, is Dolomite. That exchange where World Liberty put up 5 billion of their own tokens to take USDC from investors like you and me. A place called Squad Swap has it, Listadao, MEXC, Bybit, Kraken, Uniswap's got some, BitGet. You can look up everybody who's got it. The top holders are wallets on Binance. The 3 big Binance wallets, look at this, control 1.78 billion, 1.7 billion, one wallet. 628 million in another, 569 in another. So most of this token, over 50% of it, lives in wallets on Binance. Isn't that wild?
No, that checks out completely.
Yeah, tell me why. What's the relationship between Trump and CZ? Is there something going on there that I should know about?
Yeah, CZ bought a pardon.
Ah, yes. After his time in jail, he was pardoned. And I didn't really think they had any kind of pre-existing relationship, but I do remember that he started showing up around Mar-a-Lago and in the Trump circle. And then
it's not about a previous relationship. It's just business.
It's just business. It's just business.
It's as simple. It's literally as simple as that. He invested a lot into it and he got pardoned. That's the whole story.
That's the whole story. That's exactly right. Can you imagine being in that room? And how simple it probably was. Mr. Trump, I really like your business head. And Trump said,
how much?
Just cut the crap. I'll get you a pardon. How much are you going to spend?
Yeah, how much?
It's going to cost you $10 billion and you got to take almost $2 billion of my lousy token. That's
I mean, he doesn't see he's loaded. He doesn't give a shit.
Dude, he is so rich. There's another word for that, says MW Jones. Yeah, illegally reverse strategies. They have to know. Yeah, we
had some good back and forth questions about that last night. From Solemn was just asking about like what kind of evidence exists, and all we can see is circumstantial. It's like, hey, dollars changed hands, and then a thing happened. You can draw the line and connect the dot, but like that is circumstantial evidence. What we can't see is like the emails or the phone calls or the whatevers, and that is why I said neither one of these people wants to go to discovery, because then stuff like that can come out, and all of a sudden you have moved beyond circumstantial evidence into, tangible.
Solon said,
ideal.
Not ideal. Solon said, this shit pisses me off.
You're not alone, man.
Yeah.
You're not alone. Pretty much the entire industry is right there with you. Like, I'm not kidding. If you go to a classic crypto Twitter feed right now and scroll, every post is just like, what are we doing? What is this? How is this legal? It's not. Why isn't anybody doing anything about it? Just over and over and over from major publications, from huge names. Like, it's wild. Anyway, I could keep going forever.
No, it's okay.
I'm with you. It pisses me off.
I am too. We really all are right there with you. I will absolutely die on this hill. Thank you, Alex. Where is he? Where is he? He said,
I will absolutely die on this hill.
If you've got a oh, go ahead, hit it.
Was Polka Dot hacked?
Was just going to that one myself. The answer is no, not Polka Dot, but an attacker exploited the Polka Dot HyperBridge interoperability protocol. This is like you want to get to Polka Dot. Go ahead. You were going to say what that means?
No, I was asking you what that means.
Yeah. What that means is
you never
HyperBridge.
Seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm slow and not connected to pop culture, so it took me a minute. I thought you were just being a little weird.
It's the show with Nathan Fielder where he he's like doing an interview, but every question and everything he says is said to him in a headpiece by a 7-year-old sitting outside in the truck.
Oh, actually, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah,
I've just heard people say what that mean.
He's doing the interview, and the interviewer like says something, and the kid doesn't know what it means, so his kid just goes, "What that means?" And so in the interview, Nathan just goes, "What that means?"
Nathan Fielder, what an artist. Yeah. So HyperBridge, that means they facilitate the business of letting you use other assets. They keep them safe for you and give you the Polka Dot equivalent of those assets. It means they have to have a lot of money on hand, and that because stuff is coming in and out, there's a lot of surface area for people to attack them. And a couple days ago, there was an exploit where an attacker minted approximately $1 billion of fake Polka Dot tokens on Ethereum and then tried to move them through the bridge to get like real ones on the other side. You know, like this is like taking a suitcase full of fake bills, you know, through the airport kind of thing. And only $250,000 was extracted, which by today's DeFi protocol exploit standards, not too shabby. They had a collapse in liquidity is the reason it didn't work. So they could have stolen more, but HyperBridge, either because of the design of their security or maybe just because it's not a very liquid protocol, which I tend to lean towards, couldn't do it. So Polka Dot itself was not compromised. However, the most noteworthy thing to come out of it, in my opinion, aside of $250,000, is that on April Fool's Day on X, HyperBridge made a post that said, "We've been breached. We're working hard to fix this." And they posted a note that said, "Security incident report. April 1, HyperBridge flagged a breach." Turned out was an April Fool's Day joke. And then a couple days later, we have seen an exploit on the HyperBridge gateway contract, Certic reports. Making an April Fool's joke and then getting exploited. Getting clumped.
Awful. Did you see that one? I don't know that we ever talked about it. There was another like little exploit on some small DeFi protocol. Oh my God, what the hell? Stabble?
No, I'm not familiar with Stabble.
Let me pull this up because this is crazy.
Is it STBL? Stabble?
No, it's STABBLE.
Oh my God. This is the problem with crypto, you guys. We've got Coinbase, the Coinbase wallet.
Evan, we are a
Stabble, Stubble.
Serious industry.
Is it stable with 5 L's? What's the ticker?
Okay, so here's their Twitter.
Okay. Tell me about it. Let's see. Let me share it with the folks.
Solana's first frictionless liquidity and trading layer, audited by Sec3. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Latest update. We can now okay, this is where's this from? The 8th? What date is it? The 15th?
Yeah.
Okay.
A week ago.
We can confirm that until 1 year ago, we had a North Korean developer on the team. He was backed by other oh my God, this sentence is rough. He was backed by others who supported his work. We thank Zach XBT and Crypto Parcel, who I'm not familiar with, for their work. Historically, we've done audits, yada yada yada, whatever. Let me show you this kickoff tweet to the problems.
Oh.
Hold on. Oh, here it is. Emergency in all caps with an exclamation point. Guys, please temporally withdraw your liquidity instantly! Exclamation point. New line. Better safe than sorry. New line. The new Stabble team. And there's little old me. What? Every comment is just like, what the hell is this? Then there's a shout out Vibu's down here giving some actual context. Every comment is just like, worst crisis PR comms I've ever seen. Oh my God, it keeps happening. Because then they were replying to people, not a PR person, but a person that cares about LPs and the ecosystem.
Hey, man.
No exploit. Just a new team taking responsibility. Better safe than sorry. You might remember from 6 seconds ago, this tweet started with emergency in all caps. Please temporarily, spelled wrong, withdraw your liquidity instantly. Don't come for me. And my more official response to it was, oh, geez.
You prolific tweeter, man. Look at you.
Oh, remember that?
That's too far back.
That's too far. I know it's too far. April 6th. Okay, wait, hold on. There we go. Dude, I'm getting the word diabolical is getting a lot of usage in my vocabulary lately. This is diabolical. Was the team replaced by a second grader? And yeah, I had another. There was another like better. It was basically just like, someone from the team was like, sorry, not a PR person. I'm like, I don't care. You don't have to be a PR person like to have at least ChatGPT'd something.
Just have GPT proofread it for you. You are an English speaker.
I'm just like, look, I totally understand and I empathize with, this not being your first language and you're trying to communicate. But first of all, find someone for whom it is their first language. If this is what you're doing, maybe don't start your April Fool's Day related adjacent like exploit notification tweet with emergency. Get your money out now in all caps. Like your mission. I mean, Evan, you've got a little bit of experience with crisis resolution comms, right? Is where in the rule book does it say make sure you start off by inciting a panic?
Yeah,
in everybody who reads it.
The subtweet is be sure to use all caps, lots of exclamation points. More is better. Can never be too many. And regarding that protocol, we have several suggestions for you, Alex.
Perfect.
Jeff Rascal says, Stabble, it's not stay, Bill. And Tori says, it's pronounced Stabli. Fact check yourself, brother.
Yes. Yes. Stabble. Did you see? It's another pop culture. There's an episode of South Park where they're making fun of the store, Sur La Table. And the guys who work there, anytime a word ends with LE, it's pronounced as le on the end of it. So everything, the table, now of course I'm drawing a blank on words that end with LE. Yeah, all of it, every single one. But it hits you because they don't pronounce anything else weird. It's just that one.
The batle. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And
he says moment of silence for grammar and sentence structure.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's dead. It's totally dead. Hey, why were you giving shade to SEC Sec 3?
Oh,
no.
Sorry.
I'll tell you in 1 sec. And somebody in the comments said, I see what you did there. Sec 3, 1 sec.
Sorry, that was bad phrasing. Not against them, just against the fact that now their Twitter banner says audited by Sec 3 when like 10 seconds they're like, hey guys, turns out half the team was from North Korea. Get your money out now, emergency. And I'm just like, now you're bragging in your Twitter banner about your audit? Timing. Yeah, no shade to Sec 3. That's not.
No, and no shade to non-English speakers. My favorite thing about this industry is that everybody is invited and welcome, and we get a lot of American perspectives. It's great.
If I was tasked with writing something in German, it would probably be that bad. But like, if I was tasked with writing something in German that had to deal with people's money on a protocol that I was now running, and I was supposed to tweet it in a different language than my native language, I would ask someone for a little assistance. Or I don't know, they had to use the internet to send that. They could have used the internet to fact check it. That's just crazy. That was crazy bad, unbelievably unprofessional.
Jeff Rascal requests Gwump for Stabble.
Stabble. I like Stabble.
Stabble. Okay, I told Alex backstage before the stream started that I had something I wanted to share with him. He asked me, had I seen the World Liberty Fi thing? I said no. I said, tell me on air. And I asked him, did you see the weekly show with Jon Stewart and Ben McKenzie? And he said no.
I'm braced for impact. Lay it on me.
You're familiar with Ben McKenzie, though?
Familiar with, both of them.
Okay.
Yep. Jon Stewart more than Ben McKenzie. I don't really know anything about him other than he's an actor, and I've liked some stuff he's in. And
you don't know anything about his crypto arc?
Not a single thing. Nope.
Okay, great. Ben McKenzie, if you don't know, he was on the OC.
Great.
He played Commissioner Gordon recently in, what was it,
Gotham.
a television show? Gotham. Okay, I didn't see it. Surprise. And he has been on a crusade of late, I think actually for several years, to expose the crypto industry. Most recently, he released Everyone is Lying to You for Money, a documentary, his directorial debut that investigates our industry, exposes fraud, highlights the risks of what he calls casino capitalism. Sounds good so far, right? Well, when you listen to how he talks about it, I just want to know what you think about whether or not his perspective is informed and what you would say to him if you got a chance. I'm going to pull this up. This is from The Weekly Show with Jon Stewart.
Last year, a crypto organization crypto company estimated that $154 billion of illicit activity was financed via cryptocurrency. 154 billion last year, and that was a crypto company that made the estimate.
Here's what's fucking crazy about that. So Donald Trump is literally shilling for the product that allows our enemies to avoid our sanctions. Is that what this ultimately?
Yes.
Wild.
It's wild. And to give you an example of how deep the corruption goes, the biggest stablecoin company by far is this company Tether. And Tether, their broker is Cantor Fitzgerald, and Howard Lutnick was the commerce. Yes, that's how. I mean, guys, we're talking about
through Tether.
Yes,
and who knows what's actually going on, because you said it's pseudonymous. But is it possible that through Tether, Russian oligarchs are moving oil to, let's make it worse, moving Iranian oil to China in exchange for drones and weapons?
Well, it's not possible. It happened. It does happen. I mean, if you can read stories about this.
And Howard Lutnick profits from that.
Or his kids, technically, because he's technically not but I mean, come on, what are we talking about? Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. And then, I mean, can we talk about Jeffrey Epstein for a second?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think you're allowed to. Yeah. Was he an early crypto dude? Is that what that was?
Yes.
So his sex trafficking was enabled by that same system.
One can assume. I mean, we don't have evidence of it because, again, pseudonymity of the ledger, and who knows? But what we do know,
and redactions.
But here's what we know: we know in the emails that Epstein was funding something called Bitcoin Core Development, which is the group of programmers, software engineers who maintain Bitcoin's operating system. Yes, there are people behind this supposedly, completely computerized future. So he was funding that through the MIT Media Lab. You remember the MIT Media Lab? There was a blow up some years ago, a big article in the New Yorker. It's like this offshoot of MIT. This guy, Joy Ito, was running, and they had relationships with a lot of very wealthy people, including Bill Gates, and funding various projects. So Epstein was basically keeping the Bitcoin system alive in 2015 at a point when it was kind of languishing. Silk Road had been shut down. There was a lot of fighting. And why would Jeffrey Epstein like crypto? Well, if your main businesses are blackmail and money laundering,
we have buried the lead here, Ben.
So what do you think?
I don't think that it's unfair to say that there are illicit transactions and bad money deals and crime that happen with cryptocurrency. I don't think it's unfair to say that people have used it for criminal activity since its inception. I don't think it's unfair to say that people and governments have attempted to or successfully evaded financial sanctions by transacting in non-fiat payments systems using crypto. I think it's disingenuous to state a figure like 150 billion, which I don't know where he got that from. That's different than figures I've seen. Not to say that it couldn't be correct, but it's a little high. I think it's disingenuous to hold that up and not be outraged by the estimated $2+ trillion that is laundered, frauded, stolen, trafficked, otherwise illegally used in fiat currency on an annual basis. Some estimates have that up to 3.2 trillion. I've never understood why people do that. That like the selective outrage for me is a problem. It makes me less likely to trust that you actually give a shit about what you're talking about. I think it's a totally worthy crusade to go on to talk about illegal money activity and money laundering and terrorism financing and financing the drug trade and like all sorts of horrible human trafficking, whatever. That's a noble cause. People need to be fighting it. I respect it. But to sit here and like not talk about how much of it happens in good old fashioned US dollars is nothing short of just disingenuous. There was a lot more in there. We already know that the Epstein thing is blown way out of proportion. And that was largely based on some misinformation, which has been all debunked and walked back. And now we're kind of back to this, like he pumped money into something that ended up with some research that was then tied to crypto. Again, I am not surprised that someone like a known trafficker was interested in potentially could crypto make his life easier. At the time, that was a fair thing to think, given all of the press that was happening about crypto. That makes sense to me. Dude also put money everywhere. So it would be weird if some of it didn't end up in something like this. But I think holding it up and representing it like that when 99% of his business was dealt with fiat money, that seems also disingenuous. Why aren't we pissed off about that? It's a lot of selective outrage at the tool because some part of it is bad. And I'll be the first to say that there's a lot of dude, this entire week of all of our shows has been based on the sketchy shit happening within the US government and cryptocurrency. Like, it's an effective tool that can be used for max extract really effectively, and it's largely misunderstood, so there's fewer people coming after you for doing it. I don't know. I like with stuff like this, I can appreciate the passion. You know, it's the same reason that I actively read Molly White's writing, even though I do also believe that she's off base with some stuff. I think she's more objective than Ben McKenzie is, you know, but she doesn't have the same, I don't know what the word I want is. She doesn't have the same like platform or notoriety or visibility that he does. Yeah, sorry. Molly White runs the blog Web3 is Going Just Great, and she writes a lot about just bad shit happening in crypto.
Oh, and look, there's her first the first article is about the fake ledger,
oh, yeah.
which we'll get to a little later.
So, in that sense, you know, I like I said, I get it. I think that it's noble to be mad at stuff. There's a lot of crime and a lot of sketchy stuff happening in crypto. We could talk all day long about bad things in crypto that all of us, people who appreciate the ethos of DeFi and the industry and are holders, investors, users, enthusiasts, proponents, whatever, I'm sure that all of us could name things that we would like to see go away or get fixed and get worked on. But you don't throw out the entire industry. So I generally have a problem with people like him who want to like pretend like the entire thing is exclusively bad while ignoring incredible things that happen. Like just Peanut, a small example of something genuinely super cool that isn't going to get any recognition or notoriety from a person like that because he's way too busy making a name for himself by pretending to be noble.
Talking about Peanut, of course, the global payments service and purveyor of fine merchandise and points contests. They actually help people use money where dollars especially are scarce. And that was my big irritant with this, Alex. It was the framing that bothered me.
Yeah.
John Stewart is excellent at his job. I really appreciate the conversations he curates, but in this particular setting, it was clear that he might have been out of his depth or only informed on one side of it. And I would say he's a comedian, but he is a sort of an amateur journalist who is really good at that craft too.
He's transcended the label of comedian lately. His work for years now has been not, I mean, he adds, I think, the humor lens to stuff, but I mean, just like the new career that has been catapulted primarily thanks to his work for Ground Zero first responders in the wake of 9/11, you know, has catapulted him much more aggressively into the world of public activism inside the United States, specifically in opposition to the government. But he's out of his element here. He's out of his depth, because and this happens a lot. Like people want to not be perceived as weak. And there's still this like stupid idea in most learned people's heads that if they don't know something, it's a problem. And we live in like a gotcha culture where, if anyone ever freezes for a second, can't think of something, doesn't know something off the top of their head, it's a problem and it's going to be used against them. So then you have all these people like, look at Professor Steve Keen. He was just a guest on Diary of a CEO. He is a world-renowned economist. He's been doing this for a gajillion squillion years. And he was talking about Bitcoin and how it's inevitably going to go to zero because of a security flaw that was not very well reasoned and didn't really make a lot of sense and could have been dismantled by pretty much anybody, that walks in our circles. And he's just out of his element. And I think it's because he felt pressured to share something about it and didn't want to say he doesn't know anything about it. And it's like, you can say a lot of amazing things, doesn't mean that your brain surgeon is all of a sudden going to be able to, put braces on.
Be your foot doctor. Yeah. Seavish says, I'll say it. Jon Stewart is a fucking national treasure.
Yeah.
And Solem says someone needs to Will Smith slap him. So on behalf of Seavish, I'll say, get his you-know-what name out your mouth. I already used my one.
I would say too,
but help him tell a better story. Go ahead.
Yeah. But that is the burden of the interviewer.
Yep.
Like if we were hosting someone on the show, and granted, Rise Up is not like, we're not at the level of the Daily Show or the Weekly Show yet. But if I was hosting somebody, I mean, I do significant research beforehand so that I'm not clueless when I'm listening to them, unless the framing of the conversation is teach me. But if someone comes onto my show and says something outlandish, I need to be able to push back. I don't want to like be the one who's sitting there platforming straight misinformation or disinformation, especially if I'm Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Because he's talked about that all the time, constantly, the battle of fighting propaganda and misinformation and all this kind of stuff. And yet he doesn't know enough to host someone like McKenzie saying disingenuous things the way that he's saying and not be able to get the appropriate pushback. Because I feel like you could have that conversation with the two of them, be like, look, you are barking up the right tree, but you're not looking at the whole picture here. You're missing a lot. And what you're missing is hurting your message. I don't know. It's a bummer.
Shout out to Jeff Rascal, who says, my opinion, you guys are at a much higher level, much higher. I'll take it. Thank you very much. You know how to get points. Jon Stewart, Dinesh says, needs to be on Rise Up After Dark. I'm manifesting for all of us. And Seavish says, I agree.
Good killer.
Just before Vitalik. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you very much for the kind words. And thank you all for being here. We say it because it's true. You're the very best part of what we do. And we have got almost a whole other hour of Rise Up After Dark. If you need an Arculus, you know what to do. Call me, leave your questions about cold storage, about Michael Saylor, about Jon Stewart, whatever else you're curious about. I don't know how many colors Alex has in his wardrobe. Alex, I wonder too, if you want to kick it over to the Ledger story, I'm glad to do that. And then I have on deck a wine bottle. I got a message about a crypto company that somebody wanted our feedback on. So do you want to take it to Web3 is going just great and this fake Ledger app?
Oh, yeah. That was just a little news story, but it comes with a good PSA. Apparently a fake Ledger Live app managed to get listed in the Apple app, iTunes App Store. In the wake of all of the exploits we've been hearing about for the past, couple weeks here, 10 million doesn't seem like a lot, but it seems like it was stopped pretty quickly, but 50-ish people were still drained for a total of $9.5 million, which is just, really unfortunate. I want to know how that app got listed, because that seems like an app that's branded after something that major seems like there should have been more of a check on
Ledger's
the App
got
Store.
Thousands of ratings,
Yeah.
I believe, in the App Store. At least in the Apple App Store. Let me see if I can pull them up right here. Yeah, 14,708 ratings. And Apple, if you don't know, is very meticulous. So is Google. The leading app stores are very particular, especially about crypto apps. Like, we have friends who tried to get an app in the App Store. We've talked about this before. Like, if we wanted to use crypto in an app,
we've been rejected from trying. Yeah,
that's right. It's terrible. It's terribly a terribly high hurdle. So yeah, honestly, like, that's kind of a impressive hack. If folks wanted to read more about it, do you think the Web3 is Going Great website that had the story? I imagine that would probably be just fine coverage of it. Again, this is Molly White. Web3 is goinggreat.com. One victim, a musician who goes by G. Oh my God, they got G Love. Do you know who G Love is? Listen, for the people who don't know, I'll put you on game. You know G Love?
I've heard the name.
G Love and Special Sauce. Excellent funk band. He's from Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, certainly. Okay, yes.
If you want a quick listen, you could look up My Baby's Got Sauce. You could look up Basketball. Basketball's a classic, like I'm shooting hoops kind of song. That is so sad to me. I lost my retirement fund in a hack/scam when I switched my ledger over to my new computer and by accident downloaded a malicious ledger app from the Apple Store. All my Bitcoin gone in an instant. He lost 5.9 BT. Oh my gosh. G Love, brother, I am so sorry. Okay, my commitment. I'm going to go buy one of his albums. That is so sad. I wonder if I can buy his albums in Bitcoin. Okay. Wow. Thanks, Molly, for the breaking reporting. Oh.
Yeah, no, but I would say you're going to get, reporting on things that perhaps, different sources in the industry are not going to highlight, because they're problematic.
Yep.
I would add it as one of the things that you read.
You need it. You need a counter perspective. Otherwise, you're only getting, the framing from the hypesters. Alex and I try to be balanced, but let's be honest, we're so biased. We are so in favor of this technology because of what we know. Your
bias happens constantly, and really the best you can do is just to be hyper aware of it and force yourself into an uncomfortable situation wherein you get challenged on something that you know or think you might be biased in. And if you don't seek those out, then you're living in cognitive dissonance, and that's a problem for a bunch of other reasons. And like I keep saying, I can't say this enough. We're living in a world where we're investing in startup companies. You got to be looking for the counterpoint in everything. You have to be considering that you might be making a mistake every time.
Yeah, and you should be looking. You always say it because it's true to actively disprove yourself. Is there something that could change your mind about this?
Yeah, don't fight with every single counterpoint that comes across because you think they're out to get you personally. Deduce when something like that is illegitimate. Someone's just coming after you and calling you stupid or calling you a name or something like that. Then that's easier to discount. But someone's challenging your thesis, then consider it. That's literally the nature of the scientific method. Things can only be proven to be wrong.
That makes me so sad for G Love. I see his tweet thread here, and
sucks.
Can't believe they did this. They massacred my boy. Okay, Alex, I have got a fun assignment for everybody in the chat. We had a comment earlier today. I can't find it. I think the gentleman's name is Chris. And Chris, I hope that's your name. I'm so sorry if it's not Chris. He left a couple of comments, but I was seeing him for the first time on Facebook. And specifically, he said, "Hey, Evan, I would love your opinion on this company, Trusted Smart Chain." .com and T7X. I had never heard of it before. And so I did a quick looky-loo, and I'm going to show it to you now. And I'd like to know, Alex, and everybody watching or listening, what your opinion of this is. First of all, when I Googled it, it wasn't apparent what the real website was because it didn't rank high in search results. So I went to CoinGecko thinking I'll be able to find it there. I searched for Trusted Smart Chain, and I couldn't find it there either. I found a couple of other links, but at this point, I want to say that I left this man a comment saying, hey, by now I was like, okay, this is not it. I looked up 2 or 3 articles. I told him I wouldn't touch that thing with a 40-foot pole. Mm-hmm. It's a vaporware token. You are the product. And he said, please help me understand. And I realized, okay, I need to communicate to this guy everything I already know that allows me to deduce that this is a scam. So I'm walking you through it if you've never seen this before. I went to CoinGecko. I said, CoinGecko, you guys know, it's a trusted website. It's the first place I go. Anybody who works here goes to look up a token, or maybe CoinMarketCap would be another place you'd go. These are going to list all the legitimate tokens, help you verify their contract, and usually help you find a website for them. I don't see it here. That's not necessarily like a don't touch it red flag. So, but it's pretty, I mean, it's good enough for me, right, Alex? If you didn't see it, you'd stop, wouldn't you?
I would, for redundancy, I would check CoinMarketCap, and then I would go to Dex Screener.
I'm going to save you some time. Tell you I did. Didn't find it there. Didn't find it on Dex Screener. And the reason
if I don't find it on Dex Screener, I'm out 100%. Like, they list the shittiest tokens on earth on that thing.
Well, Alex, the reason is because
it's not a real
token is not live yet.
Yeah, okay.
The next article I came to about this, because I often do this too when I can't find a token, I search T7X scam, T7X legit, because that's how people tend to ask or report about a scam token, a bad experience. I'm thinking maybe this is a pig butchering website that's fooling him into clicking a link, buying your crypto, saving some money. But this is what I find first, a blog called Behind MLM, where somebody just talks about multi-level marketing schemes and how to recognize them with specific examples. And they write about T7X Trusted Smart Chain. And they explain how some of the founders have been involved previously with multi-level marketing and even alleged, I think they might have been, I don't know if they were prosecuted, but they were tried for fraud. They've got sort of a variety of check marks on their past. But they define Trusted Smart Chain as a multi-level marketing opportunity because of its two investment opportunities built around its token, TSC. And this is how I found their website too. On this website, basically what they tell you is, this is, look at this, real world utility, decentralized by design. We're a layer 1 blockchain and you're early. We're designed to support the tokenization of real world assets from real estate to commodities with secure smart contracts, fast finality, low cost transactions. Look at our coverage in all these news places. You can launch the app, which really isn't super functional unless you create a profile, become a node operator, we'll get to that in a second, or become an affiliate. You make money with this token by buying a node for, oh, sorry, it's not going to show me this page. I got to log in. I got to show you this one. Become an affiliate. You can buy a node, Alex, for the low price of just $4,100 and become one of 43,000 validators earning a right to claim their token when it launches, and 10% on direct referrals or 5% on extended referrals. It sounds like a multi-level marketing scheme. This token doesn't even exist yet, but it's got 2 levels only and unlimited potential. The last thing I want to show you before I get your opinion is when I looked into find some of these press releases, the coverage, the only article I could find, because when you Google it, it doesn't have like news articles. When you Google it, you find that Trusted Smart Chain appears only in press releases. And in fact, when I went back to Chris to talk to him again and get some more information, he said, please, it was recognized as blockchain of the year. Did you really look into it? So I Googled trust blockchain, smart chain, whatever it's called. I Googled it and blockchain of the year, and indeed found that it had been named blockchain of the year at the Impact 25 New Frontier Summit held at the historic Hayes Adam Hotel in Washington, D.C., just steps from the White House. So that was the next thing I Googled. I Googled this Intel Impact 25 New Frontier Summit, an elite conference. White paper, Palmer Luckey was there. I see some highlights, but by all means, have you ever heard of this conference, Alex? Anybody in the chat ever heard of this conference? If you compare it to a conference like Consensus, for example, hosted by CoinDesk, one of the major news publications in our industry, it is much less well covered. It is less well attended. I don't know anybody in the industry. I asked, 2 or 3 people, have you heard of this? Nobody's heard of it. So as an initial wine bottle, what I'm going to go back and tell this guy in a short video is all the places I would expect to receive credible information about any kind of cryptocurrency aren't covering this thing. And these are the things they cover instead. They've got 120 followers on Twitter. They don't even have a token yet. And the product is really you.
Yeah. everything you just covered was bad.
Real bad.
Honestly, like the immediate sniff test on a website like that is if the number one advertisement at this point is RWA tokenization, my hackles are up already, because that is a prevailing narrative, which means every grifter is trying to sell it to you. There are a ton of problems in the RWA space. We are nowhere near widespread, effective use of blockchain and tokens to categorize, classify, trade, store, secure, protect real world assets. So much legal stuff is required to get to that point. And in theory, Genius, Clarity, SEC guidance, CFTC guidance, all of these things are meant to create the framework upon which the building for those things can begin to take place. But we're nowhere near there. In fact, to my knowledge, and this would be a good fact check, to my knowledge, the only instance in the entire world of a government legally recognizing the bond between physical asset and token on chain is the German government with Swarm's very specific tokenized gold. What?
How would you even phrase that in a question? Is there another example of a legitimate government? You said, yeah. What would you? Oh my God.
I'll do it right now. I'll look. Yeah, just instances where a government legally recognizes the bond between token and asset.
Sure. Okay. I got it.
Like,
I got it.
You and I could pick a thing. We could, my car, my truck, I own it outright, in full, it's paid off, whatever. I could go right now and create a token on any number of protocols or projects. I'd probably ask you for, your favorite, and create, let's say, 100 tokens that represent my truck. Call them all the same thing, and I list them on any, let's say I make them an NFT. Don't have to, but I could.
Sure.
I listed on any NFT exchange on the chain that I choose to mint them on, and I list them for sale. They're $100 a piece. You can buy one if you want. You can buy multiple. I don't care. Great. I can decide that anyone who buys one has the ability to prove to me that they have one by just signing a read-only permission with a wallet to log into my little web app that I spin up. And because you've done that, you have the right to come and sign up on a sheet to borrow my truck for 6 hours because you own one of these things. I could decide to do that. Nothing says I can't. I could sell those, whatever. Great, cool. I would declare the income from some sort of miscellaneous business activity, whatever. That's my problem. But I could do that. You couldn't tokenize your house, list it for sale, list the NFT representing it for sale, have someone buy that on an NFT marketplace and have that count as purchasing of the house. There's so much more stuff that would have to happen before that. You could include a token, I guess, as one of your terms or conditions or something like that. But you got to have more. It by itself is not legally recognized, and more people are involved in the sale of the house, even if you own the house outright. There's just more. So that's what I mean. There's only one instance that I am in any way, shape, or form familiar with wherein a government recognizes the bond between token and thing. And if you went in and said, hey, I have this token, that's my gold, the government would be on your side and be like, yep, according to this, that you hold that token with that token ID, it's registered here, you bought it here, I can see this transfer, this history, whatever, you paid for it, boom, that's your serialized piece of gold in this vault. So the RWA thing immediately puts my hackles up, because anyone telling you right now that they're ready to go, they're not. The only RWA that is ready to go in any way, shape, or form are the stocks. And guess what? The centralized exchanges have that shit on lock. So good luck.
I also wanted to show you, I will give you the fact check on that. I also wanted to show you from their website. They've got this posted here that they have been audited by CertiK, a leading security audit provider in our space. And they're advertising on the front page of their website a score of 72 out of 100. They got a C-, and they're really, really proud about it. So when I look at the report, it looks like they have no distribution because the token doesn't exist yet. And do they pass CertiK KYC? No. Is the project mature? No. It's a year old. And though they say it's secure, they they also have total control over the whole thing. Community trust is at quote 50%, and in several other areas they get like 60 out of 100 scores. It's just not the kind of report card you want to bring home to your parents, let alone advertise to your potential customers on the internet. But here we are. And the fact check for which jurisdictions recognize the bond between the token and the physical asset is actually several. Check this out.
Cool. Okay.
Switzerland, our friends, your family, the DLT Act was passed in 2021. This allows for the creation of ledger-based securities. So the right to an asset is legally bound to the token. Transferring it on a token legally transfers ownership of the asset. Germany has the Electronic Securities Act, also 2021. Liechtenstein passed the Blockchain Act, 2020.
Oh, I think I knew about that one.
Singapore has MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore. They regulate tokenized real-world assets under the Securities and Futures Act. Project Guardian is the key word there to look up. Hong Kong has tokenized green bonds. I don't know how widely used these things are, but and then we've got some guidance from the SEC, especially a recent statement confirming they believe that if a token represents an ownership interest in an asset, that token, if it's treated as a security, then regardless of what it is in the blockchain, it is a security. Of course, that's not legal. Just helpful perspectives from regulators. So right on, man, right on. Cvish asks us a question. Is Lightning Network bullshit? The context. I downloaded this Speed Wallet app to play games, haven't heard of that, and get very small amounts of BTC. They're pushing the Lightning Network for BTC.
Yep.
We have heard of it, and it is promising. It is real. People use it, but most of the usage is incentivized or has been until recently. And though it's a growing network, it's still kind of like a if you know, you know thing. And I feel like integration has been a little slow, but the adoption's real. They recently, per Bitcoin Magazine, which is a legit source, but they're maxis, I'll be frank, published that they did $117 billion of processed transactions per November 2025. I think that's reported by Lightning though, so fact check. 5.2 million transactions in that month. It's estimated that about 500 million people have access to Lightning through apps like Speed, other kinds of platforms, and even some merchants accept Bitcoin payments. They're mostly doing that on the Lightning Network. In fact, merchant usage has been where it's biggest. It's doubled still in since 2023 per coin law, but it's not like a dominant thing. Alex, do you have any additional insight into Lightning? I can't say it's something I see a ton about, and it's actually something that I think I'm a little skeptical about it because a lot of it is self-reported. I think it's very promising, but it's nascent. A lot of its usage is subsidized, but it could make Bitcoin really accessible as a form of payment for people who want to use it for that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like has been there forever, and you never really hear anything about it in terms of advancement. It gets held up a lot by Bitcoiners as the answer to lots of those questions or criticisms about Bitcoin speed and costs and all that kind of stuff. And I guess that's all well and good, but I don't know. I've personally never used it in any of the limited instances that I've sent Bitcoin anywhere. I don't really think that I would. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's not like a scam or something. I guess I don't really for me, as I look at Bitcoin and why do I care about it and what do I like about it? I don't really care, I guess, about Lightning.
Yeah, it's like a layer 2.
Yeah, but
it scales Bitcoin the way a layer 2 network scales ETH.
Sure.
I don't care about it because I don't want to pay for stuff with Bitcoin, but I do as somebody who's not just a total Bitcoin maximalist, I like the idea of extending the functionality of Bitcoin because I think it is the most viable free money in the world. USDC is great and I prefer to use it for payments, but it is not free, divorced from the power of the state or a government or a rich person, the way Bitcoin actually, at least right now, is. And I would say that I'm a little concerned about the future of Bitcoin, not enough to, stop investing in it or using it or anything, but there are some important conversations we need to have. Quantum resistance, I think we'll be fine, but
Absolutely.
scaling the network to meet the challenges of the future, like making sure that power isn't concentrated into the hand of a few core developers. That's really important, but it's free money. That's why we got to fight for it. Money has never been so free as Bitcoin has made it since before we used dollars and cents. So I hope that helps. Until Sailor controls 5%, Solem says. Yikes. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. Go ahead. I was just going to give the folks a reminder that we got time for questions, but don't sit on it.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
No, we do. Two things. One, there's a question from Unreal Discipline on TikTok asking about thoughts on PulseChain. It includes all of the same tokens that Ethereum has. We've given this overview a lot, but it's been a minute, so I can nutshell it for you. And then I just wanted to follow up with myself on a couple things that I've been fact checking in the background with regards to all this RWA stuff that I was yapping about.
Love it.
So the title distinction that you can look into that I was talking about that I did not remember by name is the difference between beneficial and legal ownership. Most of the time when you are holding a token, you are experiencing beneficial ownership. Your ownership of that token entitles you to specific benefits. The access to yield or some sort of app where you can do something, trade, access liquidity, participate in DeFi, do stuff like that. So someone was asking about like tokenized carbon credits, for example. Every instance of that I can find falls into this, wherein you have like a custodian that purchases the underlying asset, in this case, the carbon credit, issues a token representing that to someone who wants to pay for it. That person then gets to trade it, hold it, carry it as an investment, whatever, and all of that can be fine and good. But you do not legally have a right through that token being in your wallet to the underlying asset. If you then went to that custodian and said, hey, I want to cash in my token that I bought from you for the official like deed and title or however they transfer the ownership of carbon credits to you, that's probably going to be a real challenge. And in most of these instances, these owning entities are not in the United States. So if you're a U.S. citizen trying to exercise, a jurisdictional reach into an entity in the British Virgin Islands or something like that, you're going to have a challenge with that. So you can benefit from the existence of the token, but you don't have the same legal claim to the underlying asset. So that's the problem. And there is nothing like widespread or legally binding in the United States. No precedent where this has been established or argued in court, no legal framework, no internal guidance from any of the enforcement agencies that would be in charge of enforcing these various laws. It's all like just kind of a goal. It's an exciting thing. Now, there are a lot of instances of things that include RWA, like we've talked about Biddle a lot. We talk about projects like Ondo, Securitize, Ethereum, all this kind of stuff. Think about it like, a stablecoin is technically an RWA. It's an asset, a token that represents backing assets, whatever the collateral for that, whatever that stablecoin is.
A couple of episodes ago, Nathan DeFi Daddy argued that Bitcoin is like an RWA for electricity.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what I'm talking about. Not to say that like RWA cannot be a thing, just to say like it's a great idea, but it is a narrative, and right now it is so early, it's in its infancy. So like you're really taking like a preemptive early stage venture gamble on RWA related investments or tokens because there is no legal framework for them to exist at scale outside of the few niche instances in different governments. And worth noting too that all of those ones that you read off, Evan, are just frameworks for things to then be built upon on top of. They are not in and of themselves legal recognitions of the relationship of legal ownership.
What about the Act? What about the Liechtenstein Act?
I'd have to read it. I don't know off the top of my head.
Honestly, I would have to read it too. Because I don't know about nomenclature. I know if it's an act in the United States, it's a law, right? A bill becomes an act. What is it?
Well, semantics.
Potato, tomato. I was thinking it was a specific language, meaning it's legislated.
No. Yeah, you can name things like that, but it doesn't really matter. Like the Genius Act was an act in proposal. It was an act in debate. It was an act in passing. It's still an act now in almost law, and it will continue to be an act semantically into enforcement after next year.
I just want to help people to clarify, bring it back to your truck analogy. So if I buy the Alex's truck token, what you're saying is that, yes, you, the vendor, might choose to honor that token. But if one day I come to your house on the date of my appointment and you say, forget you, man, I'm going to Mexico. I'm hanging out with Will. See you later. Bye. I just can't go to a court and say, but I bought the token.
Yeah,
that's what this affects in practice. It doesn't keep people from doing it, doesn't outlaw it, but like the firmament, the framework, the infrastructure, you can take your car and drive on the public land, over the grass, but it'd be nicer if there was a highway.
Well, and two, don't forget, like, legal precedent is required to litigate cases. So if a framework is passed legally, policy is written, proposed, debated in a government, state, local, federal, whatever, and then passed, and something becomes law, someone can still then break that and then need to take it to the judicial system to, litigate it or take it through court. And after that point, the decision of that case becomes precedent, which then gets referred to in future cases. So the intention of creating policy is to set yourself up to put things in court and establish precedent with that as a reference. And then the precedent becomes further reference material, and on and on and on and on, becoming stronger over time. So, just keep that in mind. We have a long way to go before someone could confidently advertise. This all comes back to this one token we were reviewing here. If you're just tuning in, wherein their main advertisement was the go-to platform for RWA tokenization. That is not a thing. It cannot exist yet. And even if it did, I hate to break it to you, but most of it's on Ethereum. So if you're really into RWAs, just hold ETH.
I do want to quickly issue a fact check. Fact check yourself, brother. Before you get to the RWAs. That in most common law countries like the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, India, so on and so forth, an act is a technical term that refers to a legislation that has been passed by the legislature and is enforced or at least enacted, i.e. the Affordable Care Act, the Human Rights Act. It is not just proposed. And it could be enacted but not enforced, or like partially enforced or changed over time. Not necessarily globally, but...
Well, going back a couple decades in the United States, we call everything an act from the second the original draft gets written.
Before it becomes law, it's often a bill, a draft bill, a proposal, or a resolution. That's the technical term they would use. But act, statute, law, code, it's a law.
Colloquially, right now, the Save America Act is being called the Save America Act, and it's barely even a proposal.
Fair. I think that's a framing thing that they're trying to influence it. I bet that started. I bet somebody somewhere's got a diagnosis of that. And me, I am not going to let technical precision get in the way of everyday people understanding it. So I'm here for it. But I thought you would appreciate it. What's the RWA resource you're going to tempt me with?
Oh, I mean, I would just the one and only, right? What is it? Is it .xyz?
Take me there. .xyz, man. Every tokenized real world asset in one place. They are not a sponsor, but when I tell you they could be. Say it again. RWA.xyz. Alex, what are we looking at?
Here's the homepage. Like Evan said, every tokenized real world asset in one place. You're just going to want to go to analytics and then have a field day.
Boo! It is a field day. This is almost as fun as DeFi Llama, honestly.
I honestly really enjoy it, yeah.
Or Arkham. I mean, there are some really good tools out there, and they're at the top of the game.
No,
anything I want to know about RWA.
Here's a couple things that get talked about a lot. Separated out by asset class. So over here we could look at stablecoins specifically. So here you've got like your total market cap for all stablecoins, monthly transfer volume. Look at that shit.
$10.2
trillion in the last 30 days. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. No kidding.
Monthly active addresses, 243.8 million holders. Here's broken down by asset. So obviously Tether, biggest chunk, followed by USDC, next biggest chunk, and then a bunch. There's USD1.
And this is
underneath.
verified on-chain information that I can
Yeah.
get
Totally.
sources for?
All of it is.
I am a
Every
big
single
fan
thing.
of this.
Absolutely.
Net flows.
I like their visuals. They have a lot of really good visuals. They do not quite as good as the llama. They don't have everything available without their paywall. I'm assuming. Maybe it's just a free account. I don't know. But either way, I'm not logged into anything.
Check this little flasher out right above that table. It says on the right, we now support asset reserves data for stablecoins. You know what I am talking about. Let's go.
Neat.
The complete data API for tokenized assets. That probably is the little pay to play. But you know what I propose? RWA.xyz, if you really want to sell some product, I think you should give us access and we can make you look good.
Here's a great one that you can go to really quickly and immediately fact check with on-chain data.
Okay.
It was a thing going around for a while that what was it, that more like US treasuries were tokenized on the XRPL than anywhere else.
Yes, in fact, that was the rumor.
Here you go. Here's tokenized US treasuries separated by chain.
Who's that? For the people in podcast land who can't see that big blue slice of the pie, a little more than 50%.
Oh yeah, you mean more than half of it? That would be Ethereum. Weird.
Okay.
Followed by almost a quarter here on BNB.
Really? It's
Followed.
okay. So XRP's got to be next.
No, Solana's next.
Oh, okay. All right, but they're coming.
No, Stellar's next.
Alex, just tell
Yep.
me how many. Where is XRP in this pie?
They are next.
They are next. Okay, great. With a couple $1 billion.
No.
Okay.
A few 100 million. So for context, Ethereum 7.25 billion, BNB 3.2 billion, Solana 830 million, Stellar 819 million, XRP 317 million.
So really, a respectable amount compared to the others, but it's like
Sure.
Usain Bolt racing the rest of us in terms of how much game Ethereum has here.
It's ETH.
Can you click into those pie slices to see what those are? I'd like to see what's in the RWA for tokenized treasuries on XRP. Because we've showed this before, but I'd like to peek if it'll show us.
Where is it? It's not through the pie
It's a
chart.
small slice, so you got to click with. I actually think it's on the left.
Yeah,
under-
Hold on.
He's like Evan. I was not ready for
Here
the
we
question.
go.
There we
Okay.
go. Tokenized treasury league table. They make it sound
Yeah.
like fantasy sports. I love it.
Oh, that's locked.
Oh no, we had it before.
I'm looking in the wrong place.
Try stablecoins. Click. Oh no, you're in treasuries. Damn it. Oh no, maybe that'll do it. Go down. That table looked familiar to me. Tokenized treasuries and sort by networks.
Oh, yeah.
That's free. And
well, shit.
yeah, that's not it. We
Hold on. Hold on. We'll
hold
get there.
the phone, and I bet you could click into the networks. It looks like so. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
scroll past a lot of Ethereum to maybe find like an XRP needle in this
Hold on.
haystack.
Nope, that's XDC.
Hedera on the board.
Hold on. I'll find them. Oh, there they are. All right. There it is.
XRP ledger. Okay.
So here you go. Here's a full breakdown of what they have. So leading the pack would be RL. Oop, get back there. RLUSD. US Treasury. Just so here's that 317 million that
Got
we
it.
were talking about beforehand.
Tokenized can you? Oh, I bet if you click into treasury data, it'll take you to like a big table. Probably not like just XRP.
Yeah, that would be all of it.
Yeah.
Back to where we just were.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry.
No. And then of course, here. God damn it.
RWA.xyz. This could be on stream if you would just hook a
Alright,
brother up.
I'm done with you. I'll make an account later. You've got me. I'll log in later.
Yeah, they would.
Anyway.
But what about that API access, RWA.xyz?
Hook me
Could
up.
be the move for the Rise Up After Dark family. I think we could do it. Okay. We've got 10 minutes till the top of the hour. We've got to do a little points giveaway for fabulous prizes. Maybe we can give away an Arculus wallet tonight, maybe two. And
Oh yeah, we should do that. It's been a minute.
You're telling me there's a chance.
it has been a minute since we've given away an Arculus wallet on After Dark. And if you want to win, what I'll say is just leave Arculus in a comment anywhere across social media. If you're in podcast land and you leave a review and mention something about Arculus, then you know what? You got to leave a real review about the show, even if it's a negative review. But, let me know. I wrote this review because you told me about the Arculus giveaway. I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. That way we know, and we'll give somebody that. I really want a review on Apple Podcasts. We got 9 reviews now. We need 90. I want to see Ledger App Store level numbers on Rise Up Apple Podcasts, because really so many great people all over the world listen there that I want their voices heard. Alex, in the comments, do you see any lingering questions, any good comments worth highlighting, any dings to give out before we think about final thoughts and riding our dogs and ponies into the sunset?
I see DeWolfie's over here saying he's just here for the prizes.
Whoa, that's it?
And I said, I feel like you're just here for the zip line.
I thought what we had was real.
Evan, that was another reference. That's a good one. It's from I Think You Should Leave. Was it Tim Robinson? Is that his name?
I heard a lot of people say they really liked that show.
It's funny. It's a little awkward. I struggle with awkward humor. Sometimes it's a little bit too much for me and I can't watch it. Like Nathan Fielder is a tough watch. The Ricky Gervais Office is a tough watch.
Did you ever see that show that Ricky Gervais did where he works in the old folks home? Or maybe he's an autistic guy in an old folks home?
Clips? I don't know.
I don't remember. It was a little offensive, but very touching.
The I Think You're Just Here for the Zip Line is I think it's a Tim Robinson sketch where he's making fun of the Bachelorette or something. And he is a contestant who's just there just to be in the mansion because the mansion has a zip line. And so all he does is ride the zip line all day. So they keep trying to go on dates and go to the eliminations. And he's just in the background riding the zip line over and over again. And she's eliminating him. Just I feel like you're only here for the zip line.
Jeff Rascal is only here for the thermos, the endless, bottomless thermos. Here's what I'll do. We are finalizing. What the
hell is that? That's not thermos.
It's not my thermos, but it's my stand-in.
Bearish.
Here's what I'm going to do for Jeff Rascal and everyone like him. We are working on the payments form to accept your prepayments and cash, crypto, card, however you might want to send it to us for the Purple Wallet. That's going live this week as Tori works out the kinks. And we will let you order your Arculus, Rums branded Arculus wallets. And I will get with Arculus to see if we can get a custom thermos made. And I will give one person who buys a Purple Rums wallet their own bottomless thermos. You heard it here, folks. I will find a way to make it happen. And yeah, you too can have your very own miraculous, magical, endless beverage. That's what I got. That's what I got.
Rise Up Thermos.
When Rise Up Thermos, it's coming. So is the Purple Wallet, allegedly.
We have an embarrassingly low amount of branded anything. I literally do not own a single Rise Up t-shirt. All I have is these couple damn mugs.
These couple damn mugs are all right. I'm thinking we're going to do a new one maybe for the 500th episode. We got to do one mug a year. That's what I've resolved to, I think.
Mugs the same way that Uniswap and Aave launch new versions. So we're coming up on the V3 launch. You can still provide liquidity with your V2 mug. It will still work, but I have it on good authority that it won't taste quite as good.
Tori, I have an idea. We got to clip this and remember it. Jim and I remember this. Alex, you're going to love this. So we're going to simplify the Rise Up website. We're simplifying the Rise Up community. My vision is, just one website with links. No questions, no frills. And then there's going to be the Rise Up links page. It's just going to be the links to all the tools we love. DeFi Llama, RWA, XYZ, everything. And then I want to have a merch page, Alex, that looks like a DeFi protocol. You click Rise Up merch, V1, V2, V3, V4, launch app. And where it says the price is $20, the button below, it says provide liquidity. And then in parentheses, buy now.
Volatility of the mug.
Yeah, and you could have crypto version and fiat version, toggle it. You'll have Radio Dan out here double side liquidity provision with the OG mug and the After Dark mug.
Well, if you're double side liquidity, providing you get 2 mugs in the same package, you have to drink out of both of them at the same time. That's
Yeah,
not a bad analogy for how annoying it is to do double-sided liquidity providing, like how much maintenance. You got to really be careful.
Yeah, but how are you
There's
going to
something
visualize
there.
impermanent loss? Are you going to like pour it all from one mug into the other mug until it overflows and then you can't
Every
get it
mug
back?
has a small hole in the bottom that is constantly leaking liquid out of it. You have to be adding more of it, and it's definitely going to get on your pants.
Or is just slowly expanding and contracting over time.
Sometimes at
crypto
night when
product.
you're sleeping, someone sneaks into your house and steals the mug.
The world liberty finance, the world tyranny finance version, honestly, is what it
This
should be.
particular mug, someone is always trying to convince you to part with it. It's the socially engineering. These are getting stupid.
We're gonna lock them all
can
for
keep
2
going forever.
years.
Yeah,
just gonna
that's it. That's it. You buy the mug, and we might ship it to you in 4 years. But only if you continually vote to, I don't know, keep paying me more money. You have to pay for it again, and then you have to burn it. So we'll take the handle before we ship it to you and burn it.
Can we get this? Can somebody get this? I will really talk about merch with Internet Paul that we met at East Denver.
Yeah.
And since World Liberty Financial was mentioned again, I did want to say earlier in the comments, we had really great World Tyranny Financial is what it sounds like. And so me and GPT took the opportunity to work on the rebrand right here.
Oh God, I love it.
Welcome to World Tyranny Financial. I like that they say welcome. I like the all-seeing eye. Control, comply, submit. Oh man,
Dude, if Twitter wouldn't hose you immediately for the AI picture, that is excellent.
dude, it might be worth it. Might be worth it. I did
It's
it all for
probably
the
worth it.
memes.
Twitter sucks anyway.
Look at this. Congratulations and thank you to Dinesh. Just wrote y'all a review on Apple Podcasts.
Hey,
I pulled it up right here and it says, I can't believe I just wasted 2 hours of my life with these guys. I want my money back. I didn't send you any money. That's sorry. If you have a question, a suggestion we didn't get to, you know what to do. You got to head over to the community. We
imagine
might get
you
lucky.
just showed up for the first time and all you heard was me describing how I'm going to steal money from you and not send you a mug.
Yeah, or you joined the TikTok stream the second I went live and heard that. If you don't get lucky and Alex doesn't catch your question as it's coming in at the end and answer it as his final thought, then you can go to community.rumshq.com. Leave your comments there. It's totally free to join. We do have a premium membership program where you can get access to free weekly calls with all of us to answer your crypto question or just hang out and have a good time as we learn about life. We've been talking a lot in my office hours lately about different brokerage apps for Web 2. And Jeff Rascal was saying to Magic, 2 friends from the premium program, and just all around good guys. We got to compare Robinhood and Fidelity tomorrow. So it's lots of different stuff. Great place to get help. And I would love to see you there. You can try it for 10 days totally free, and then it's $30 a month. Where else can you get like calls with somebody who's going to help you walk through this stuff and meet all your other friends for like that? It's a steal. It's a steal of a deal. A lot of our colleagues, they charge big time for that kind of thing. And frankly, I just don't think it's as good. But you didn't hear that from me. Try it for yourself and join us there. The only thing missing is you. Alex.
All right. We got two questions. One, I owe the PulseChain nutshell. And then
I forgot about. I was hoping you'd forget about that. I was trying to save you, man.
It's been a minute since I've gotten a death threat from somebody in crypto, so it might be time. It might be time to get a fresh one.
He needed to feel alive again.
I need to feel something. And then there was a really good question from Stall.
Dinesh, remind me what I said I would give you for writing us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's already left my cranium.
This is your opportunity to say.
Oh, the Arculus, the extra entry for the Arculus.
Evans Thermos.
Evans Thermos. No.
Okay. From Jen Pi says, at what point does cold storage become advantageous, or is it really just a preference? Excellent.
What a great question.
And then actually you can tie on the part 2 of that from SafeBet, who asks, is staking through the Trezor Suite /Everstake safe? So Evan, I'll let you do that one because we also, of course, need to do a commercial and a thank you for our friends and partners and show sponsors, Arculus. But first, I have to talk shit about PulseChain.
Talk it.
I won't belabor the point or take forever. So PulseChain, born out of the shit sandwich that was Hex, from the same mastermind who stole your money with that label. He then did this thing where he opened this wallet called the Sacrifice Wallet. And this is the founding wallet for PulseChain. And effectively what happened, I'm skipping some steps. There was a lot of nonsense, but there was this wallet. It was not governed by any particular contract. It was just a wallet that you could send stuff to. And basically what you did to qualify yourself for the PulseChain airdrop, which is it its own, like completely standalone, or it's just an ETH layer 2, or?
It's on ETH. It's EVM. I don't know the exact linkage, but it looks a lot like World Liberty Finance, which we've been covering recently. Yeah,
similar. Birds of a feather. So anyway, you took your perfectly good ERC tokens on ETH, and you sent them to the Sacrifice wallet, which is really just a wallet for Richard Hart, the founder, known grifter. And he then returned to you the PulseChain version of the asset that you dropped. So leave all of it aside. The whole value prop here is, hey, you have all these tokens on Ethereum. Ethereum sucks. I'm making my own blockchain called Pulse. And in order to get tokens on it, you need to give me those worthless things that you have on Ethereum, and then I'll give you the Pulse version. And then they sent all those out. And now it's just a blockchain where you can go do stuff, and it, things exist and it functions and whatever. But if you, pull up the old llama and run a quick little comparison about how it's doing. Let's see how far down we have to scroll.
Don't let your fingers get tired.
Oh, it's not on the first page. It's not on the second page.
Okay. The third, how many is that? Like 60 down, 80 down? A lot. Okay. All right.
$70 million of total value locked. Chain revenue, about $1,200 a day. App fees, 24 hours. Gotta say, they make more money than Parachain.
Than some protocols, but not enough. Not enough for me to be excited.
How much is Monad making? Not much more. Yikes. There we go. Yeah, so it's just here the writing's on the wall. It's just a chain that barely anybody is using to do almost nothing. And once again, you probably should have just kept the version of the token that you had on Ethereum. It's not a scam, like, as in, it is, but not in the sense that like it's fake or like it doesn't work. Like, and they were I guess credit where credit's due. He was open, like, yeah, send me your ERC20s and I'll give you a Pulse version. So like, I guess you knew what you were doing, which was just sending money to Richard Hart for no reason. I would love to see like a side-by-side comparison of like all of those who sacrificed. Like, where are you at right now with your like on-chain portfolio and value comparatively to having just like held the original?
Yeah.
It's not good. Anyway,
well, you're assuming that they'd trade it for more quality assets. Honestly, the chart of their TVL, the chart of their token, there are others that look just as bad. So it's hard for us to make that point to people in a way that helps them understand it. Honestly, you know what it makes me think of too? World Liberty Fi from the grift, but it makes me think of Metallicus, the way the incentive is structured. Basically, you stake Hex tokens to get more Hex tokens, and they're all kind of rapidly losing value.
Yeah. No, definitely. And overall, they're,
Schmack says, Richard Hart knew he could spend your money better than you.
And see, that's the other thing. Like, not only did he know that, he did it. And then he flaunted it in front of everyone. Every picture, everything that dude posted, he was like sitting on his own throne that he made.
Dripping in gold.
With his Gucci pajamas. Basically just calling everyone who sent him their money poor. And then wearing 6 watches at the same time and talking about how he's really a genius. I haven't heard anything from that dude in probably 2 years. He was everywhere last bull run. Anyway, you're not missing anything. Ignore Pulse. Pulse sucks. It's a grift. It's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to sell this thing.
Anyway,
Well
cold
said.
storage.
Cold storage. Indeed, this segment and all the segments we do are brought to you by the official cold storage partner of RiseUp. I'm talking about Arculus. The question, again, is at what point in your crypto journey should you get cold storage? And is it for everybody? The answer is no. Like everything else in the crypto space, self-custody, directly owning crypto yourself, and choosing a cold storage wallet to do it is a personal choice. There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all investment, only an investment that's right for you. However, cold storage is the safest, most secure way to own crypto yourself. And effectively what it gives you is the same kind of control you have over your thoughts. If you have a thought that's a little out there, a little weird, might get you canceled, or even is just private, you don't have to share it. And when you have your own crypto wallet, you get a piece of information called a private key. This allows blockchains to recognize you, the tokens you hold and are entitled to, and then to transact with them without needing to reveal other information about yourself, like your government name or your address. If you have an internet connection, you can present your private keys to the chain. And these cold storage devices, they make it easy for you to generate and securely store your encrypted private keys and then present them when you want to make a transaction. They are the best way to keep assets safe in the long term because they're very difficult to hack. And also because since you're the only one in control, you don't have to worry about somebody at the bank giving away your password or Coinbase leaking your information online, that kind of thing. And Arculus specifically, because it's a physical card, they make their parent company CompoSecure those chips that protect the cash when you spend from your Visa, your MasterCard. Because it's a physical card, it doesn't require an upgrade like my Ledger or your Trezor might. It's not just going to stop working because you didn't charge it or because it failed as a device. It's super durable and it's absolutely affordable. It's $99. And if you use our code ARCURUMS10, you hear me say it all the time, you can get 10% off. But a lot of other cold storage devices, they start off at, $100 or more. And they're difficult to use. This Ledger, it gets by fine for me, but it's got these two buttons that make things really hard to navigate. It's got this tiny screen. If I could see less well, and I already can't see very well, or my hands shook, this would be impossible to use to sign transactions. Now, the question of which wallet is right for you, that's when you got to answer personally, we can help you with, because it's different for everybody. But I think, and Alex, back me up on this, if you have any amount of crypto that would be significant to lose or prevented from accessing, like if you'd be upset that Coinbase closed down, and don't get me wrong, Coinbase is a safe company. Like it's as safe as your bank. They take a ton of precautions. They're the world's largest custodian of Bitcoin to secure your assets, but they have a lot of surface area for an attack. And many exchanges just like them that are super legit default to pausing your activity, freezing your account if they suspect suspicious activity. It's their default way to deal with the problem, and it can cause a lot of friction and inconvenience. Plus, like this Trezor service we'll get into in a second, they give you options, but those are options they provide and curate for you. You can't just do anything with your crypto the way a wallet user who practices self-custody can. So if you care about owning assets directly, you want to see all the options crypto provides and experience the true freedom that it uniquely can enable, then you need to have a wallet. And cold storage wallets, they're more secure than hot wallets. We'll get into that another time. But for right now, what I would encourage you to do, if you'd like to learn more, is write down the term self-custody, write down wallet versus exchange, and then write down legitimate crypto wallets. I want you to take those three topics to your favorite LLM or Google search engine and put them in wallet versus exchange crypto and see what it tells you the difference is so you can study it and remember it. Google legitimate crypto wallet companies so you can see the top list. You'll see Arculus, you'll see Ledger, you'll see Trezor, you'll see Elapal. You can research these yourself. And what you should look for is, does it support the networks and tokens I hold or want to use? And does it seem easy? You might look up YouTube tutorials, set up Arculus how to, and see which one seems easy for you to use consistently well. One last thing about Arculus is we really appreciate that they have met people where they are. Not only do they have a superior product, but they are on all socials. They're very responsive. They have helpful tutorials on their website. And they also have a support line where you can call and talk to a human if you have questions. Their parent company, CompoSecure, is on the New York Stock Exchange. They are bigger by far than any other wallet provider company. And we like the work they do. So check them out, getarculus.com or at thisisarculus on all socials. And if you're listening on TikTok, I'm going to put up a little link so that you can check out their product in the TikTok shop, because you should always buy a cold storage wallet from a legitimate website, from the manufacturer or a licensed retailer. And Arculus, they made it easy for you to go right to their actual verified page on the TikTok shop so you can be sure you're getting the right product. And they often will do extra discounts on TikTok in addition to the discount you might get for the RQRums 10 code or for being a service member in the military. They're excellent. We appreciate them. And if you have more questions about cold storage, leave them in the comments or check out community.rumshq.com. We'd be glad to pass them along to the team and help you out. And we'll give away an Arculus wallet tonight. Alex, I'm going to go ahead and co-opt this. I'm going to say right now, I verified this review from Dinesh, and without any fanfare, I'm going to show you how serious I am about these Apple reviews. I am going to say congratulations, Dinesh. One of the wallets tonight that we are giving away is going to you. Listen to this review. I've been listening to you two since before William joined on TikTok. Love your show and keep it up. I even bought an Arculus when Evan was playing the "This is my food is me" roll on his account. Like Sivish says, damn, that's old school. Awesome story. So Dinesh, send us a message, preferably through the community, or since you're watching on YouTube, it'd be fine to message us there. We're going to respond.
I don't think you can message on YouTube. I don't think there's DMs on YouTube. At least if they are, I've never been able to find them.
I'm so bearish. No DMs on YouTube. Gwump. Can we have anything anymore?
No.
My God. Okay, then head to community.rumshq.com. Send us a message there, and I'm going to respond. DM me or just post anywhere. Hey, I won the Arculus. I'll respond in a DM with the form where you can specify if you want the plain Jane, black and silver, can't beat a classic Arculus, the XRP, new money Arculus, or if you want to wait a couple of weeks, you can have your very own purple co-branded Rise Up wallet. Only 100 of these will be made, and somebody who buys one is going to get that everlasting thermos. So thanks, Dinesh. Thanks for being the very best part of what we do, man. And congratulations. Alex, do you want to give away an Arculus to someone else? If they say Arculus in the comments, that's what we're looking for. If you need a cold storage device, we'll give one more away, yeah?
I'll scroll, and I think we had another Apple review.
Oh my gosh.
Really quick. SafeBet108 asks, is staking through a Trezor suite and Everstake safe? So yes, it's as safe as staking can be. It's worth noting that, so there's two questions in there that I'll kind of pull out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you're staking using a hardware wallet, like you would be through the Trezor suite, and there's other instances of it existing, effectively what you're doing is just delegating like permission for it to be used in that sense, but the tokens don't actually leave anywhere. So they can still be in cold. This doesn't work in every single instance. There are only specific ones where this works. So like the Trezor suite via Everstake here that Evan has on screen is one of those such examples. You're delegating the stake. You're not like sending your tokens somewhere. They don't leave your wallet. So the risks that exist here exist with all forms of staking. In this case, Everstake is the validator, and validators can misbehave, and funds can get slashed if they do that, and you can theoretically lose money in doing that. I don't think I can count more than a couple instances, like in my entire time paying attention to crypto, wherein a major slash happened.
Same.
Especially not for like a major validator like Everstake would be.
Yeah,
so
there's a quick
being aware of, but it's unlikely. Smart contract risk, smart contracts are involved in all this. Trezor device risk, if you leave your seed phrase laying around and someone gets into it, then you can lose it, but that doesn't have anything to do with the stake. That's more just a risk of having a wallet in general. So the short answer is yes, it's as safe as staking can be. And that depends on the risks of Trezor as a platform and as a hardware, and Everstake as a validator. So that's what you would want to look up and learn a little bit more about.
The question is, so they can't drain my wallet?
No, not in that sense. Not unless your seed phrase became compromised. Then yes, absolutely, your wallet could get drained. But Trezor, just like other cold wallet custodians, they have a database of all of your seed phrases, at their place. The thing that Trezor has been breached on before is like user data, which is why I still get shit in the mail, like this.
Oh, you got another one? Oh no. Dude, we have so many gwumps tonight for weird things like direct mail scams. Wow, that's so
a
legit.
piece of mail I received in the snail mail that has a QR code. Don't scan it. And they even have I'll cover it, but just so you can see it, they even have the little anti-theft Trezor sticker. I don't know where they bought those, but you can't really see it in the light. It's like one of those little tamper-proof, evident little stickers that they would put over the box. They literally just stuck one to the bottom of this paper. And then basically what they want me to do is download something and upload a key. It's crazy. But anyway, I got this
SafeBet says letter. That's not from Trezor.
No.
So watch out. If you want to verify it, Alex, if they don't have the Rise Up community or the Rise Up show, they're stranded on an island somewhere and an email, a letter, something reaches them that says it's from Trezor. Is there a good site to go to ask? Do they have a Discord, a Telegram? What do I do?
Honestly, go to their official Twitter account and look through their feed and see if they've posted that they are sending stuff like this out. And if not, you could message Trezor support and say, I got this thing in the mail where I'm supposed to do this authentication key upload. And I'm on a deadline, and it's this other thing, and you have to do it, and you sent me with this QR code, and it's supposed to be completed by March 20th and blah blah blah. I've never found anything from any official source to say that this is real.
I want to touch one more question from SafeBet following up on this, who says, will I be targeted now that I own crypto?
Yes.
And well, let's clarify though, because if you quietly own crypto, which is very difficult to do, because first you got to learn how to use it well. And where are you going to do that? Most people don't know a crypto user in their local community. So they go on the internet and they do exactly what you did. They communicate through their questioning. I am new to this. I don't know how it works. I will be an easy target. So what I recommend is, if you're concerned about it, you should have a healthy, appropriate level of concern. You really should get in a group of crypto users like the Rise Up community that you can get through the link in our bio, community.rumshq.com, RUMSHQ. And another place like that, where nobody's going to try and sell you some junky token, where we verify the members and kick people out who try to send you DMs about stuff like this. So you can ask those questions in a safe space, and you're not going to get nicked off by a scammer, because they're out there. And anything to add to that to stay safe, not make yourself a target. Don't use good passwords. Don't
answer DMs.
Flaunt your wealth.
Literally the best crypto security tip I can give you is don't answer DMs. That's it. Just if it was sent to you in private, ignore it. That's it.
Yep. Don't answer those DMs. Okay, Alex, are you ready to do some points and final thoughts? I feel like we have killed
Not
it.
Quite. Almost.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm still tallying names here.
Oh, for Arculus.
You're gonna pick a number.
Oh, amazing. I love it when he makes me pick a number. Number guessing games. This is your chance. If you've got a final thought, a last question, a suggestion, a good joke, a word of wisdom, Alex is definitely. If you wanted to make a prediction market about Alex, good old Alex Popovich, you could win a lot of money predicting that Alex is that guy. If he sees a question and it's a good one, he's going to answer it. Oh my God, what happened? That was so cool. It rained money on TikTok. Thank you. To be fair,
there's a username on this list that I am obsessed with. It's so shout out to the Rowdy Duchess for having my favorite username of the day.
Yeah.
It is excellent.
I saw one called PP Smooth. It made me just, it was so dumb. I thought this is real.
I love it.
The Rowdy Duchess, a much better username. Oh my goodness. And Satoshi Nakamoto always gets a good username.
Lots of entries. Hold on, I'm scrolling. I'm trying not to
take your
miss.
time. We've got a couple of trailers. We've got a wellness check.
Oh, hi, Brian. Brian is in the comments, a fan of Metallicus, and told me that I'm missing something with the credit unions. I'm not, but that's longer than we have time for today. We can talk about it later. Followed up by saying, look at loan protocol versus Aave. So just because I appreciate you being here and thanks for the respectful comment and not calling me any names, I will do a quick side-by-side comparison of MetalX lending and Aave as per your request. So here we go. Let's start with MetalX lending.
I was going to say, let's start with MetalX. Yeah, loan protocol.
I would assume that you're talking about MetalX lending, which is where the loan token is from in the Metallicus ecosystem.
That's right.
So here it is. TVL is 30.8 million. The loan price is less than a penny. Somehow 224.72% of the market cap is staked. I don't know how that works. There's $10.83 million worth of active loans.
I'll tell you how, Alex, because they may have locked some up from the total supply, more than which is currently circulating is what I would bet. I bet DeFi Llama means market cap by like circulating supply. Would just be my guess.
It has, because fully diluted valuation is right here at 29 million, so it's still less than that. Oh, actually, yeah. So that's almost exactly the difference between fully diluted and market cap. So it's the amount not circulating. That's suspicious in and of itself. Anyway, we're getting
that means they're issuing tokens through staking and diluting. They're inflating the supply.
Yeah,
we'd have to look again, but
so here is and notably, whenever I look at TVL, I switch off of the natural selection here, which is USD, into ETH, just because, especially now with market conditions, every TVL looks like it's going down in dollars because dollar value of all of these tokens is falling as the market crashes. And so it's a little bit unfair. So we'll switch it to ETH, and you can see here that the TVL here started back in 2022, peaked a little bit, flatlined, as to be fair, pretty much everything did. Started to grow again here, looks like September of 2024, and has been on a relatively steady and measured increase all the way up until February. And since February, it's been bleeding. Not a ton, but a couple thousand ETH. Okay. That's pretty much all we can see here about this protocol. So it's,
and it's notable to say that DeFi Llama only provides information it can verify. So the fact that they haven't provided more information about MetalX means that the numbers are published, not on chain somewhere, but in a private database.
Correct.
You'll see in a minute when we compare it to Aave, all the extra information that we get because it's verifiable on chain.
Yep. So, and Brian says we're in a bear market. So, that's why I just said that exact disclaimer that TVLs are bleeding because it's a bear market. Which is why we looked at it in ETH versus in USD. And you'll actually see relatively consistently through bear markets on a multitude of different DeFi protocols that TVL in the native token itself does tend to grow during bear markets because people are tucking things away into yield earning opportunities and waiting. So let's look at Aave. So Aave's total value locked is 26.38 billion. We have a lot more information here that can be verified, such as the annualized fees at over $500 million, revenue of the protocol at 73.92 million, relatively significant earnings. We have a market cap in the low single billions. The price of Aave's token. If we come over here to USD, to ETH TVL, about the same sort of timeline here. So if you'll recall, the amount of ETH on this MetalX lending looks like it reached a high of 15,864 and is now at 12,844. Aave's TVL reached a high of 14.2 million ETH and has now come down to 11.36 million ETH. I'm not sure what all else you wanted me to compare between these
I think he'd
two.
like you to compare the different tokens that are supported. And I think this is a valid point, but I think it makes the Aave argument. Aave is partially got is so flush with capital because you don't just have to put Aave tokens or ETH there. Whereas on Metal, your options for deposits and also the yields you can earn are only in XPR. But your options for deposits are extremely limited too. I think they support 4 tokens, 5 tokens released by their protocol. Aave supports, I don't want to speculate because it's going to come up here in a second on DeFi Llama, but I'd be willing to guess they support dozens of networks, assets on dozens of, well, how many layer 2s are there? Like 118. They probably support most of them. And they probably support loans for dozens of assets across those chains.
I really want this active loans tab to open. So active loans, again, if we compared like you were just talking about, so the active loan total on MetalX here, let's see if this page will load. The active loans page seems to not want to load on anything.
That's okay.
We can see the total here, 10.8 million. Aave's active loan total is at 18.28 billion.
What does that mean, Alex? What is an active loan?
Like how many loans have been are currently like being lent out via this protocol?
Yeah. How efficient is it effectively? Yeah. Can you go to the yields tab? Would you mind? Just because what I'd like to see is in the yields, we always go over to that yields tab. I want to filter by protocol Aave because it'll tell me looking at this many pools across this many. Oh, look, you've got it. Tracking 235 pools. Okay. And I see, most of it is on Ethereum, but I see plenty, I'm sure, on other chains.
Here's Gnosis.
Gnosis,
Plasma,
Arbitrum.
sorry, not Gnosis.
Avalanche.
Plasma, Base, Arbitrum. Yep. Avalanche, more Arbitrum, more Base. What is this? Oh, Mantle. More Avalanche.
Polygon.
BNB, or BSC, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Polygon, Linnea. There's Gnosis.
Looks like Optimism. Is that there's ZK?
Yep.
I can't quite tell.
Optimism.
Yeah. Mega ETH, I think, spotted.
Yep.
Shout out.
There's Mega ETH.
Shout out
it doesn't
Mega
seem
ETH.
to be. Doesn't have anything in it. It's a dead pool.
USDM. Mm-hmm. Aptos. So all the regular players. CeeLo.
Yeah.
Yeah. ZK Sync looks like down there. So many options.
Yep.
So many options. Okay, now show me the MetalX.
Oh, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Oh no, you can pull up here if we do.
But it's very few, Brian concedes, compared to the 200 plus. So while you're pulling this up, let me say that sometimes when you're early to a DeFi protocol, it can lead to, outsized upside opportunity. XPR and, their ecosystem are not new. They've been reinvigorated by retail interest, but the numbers they're doing, if they were going to support meaningful adoption by credit unions who have, actual customers to the tunes of millions, do you really think that your credit union is going to want to seriously, like not just a pilot program, use a financial services provider whose depth is probably less than their network? We said this earlier about liquidity. If you are trying to move big amounts of money because you have a lot of customers or because you're rich, It's really hard for you to do that in a constrained container. It'd be like being a sumo wrestler moving through Fat Man's Pass. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get squeezed in that rock, man. You cannot pass. There's not enough liquidity to help you get through. What are you looking at here?
I'm trying to find any trackable yield opportunities with either XPR or loan, and none are there.
Michi Rose says they have my credit union there. And Brian says, look up St. Cloud Credit Union and tell me that they are not adopting metal.
Yeah. So I don't have to look up a single one to know that the particular integration that you're referring to includes 70 different credit unions. There's more than one. So there was an acquisition of something ledger. I'll look it up. There was an acquisition by the metal folks of something ledger, some acronym letters and ledger. I don't remember. Anyway, that acquisition gave them access to, I think it was like 70 total credit unions. And this is what I'm talking about. And again, it's really hard to say all of this stuff and not immediately get written off by people who this pisses off. But that really doesn't mean anything for the token itself. In the same way that you guys remember when over a year, almost 2 years ago now, there was this whole big thing where BlackRock was allegedly doing some major integration with XRP, and it was going to bring $11 trillion worth of assets onto that ledger. And not only did that, of course, not happen, but it can't happen because of the way that these things are built. And it gets misconstrued into potential value accrual for the token itself. And that's just really not how it works. So what you're implying is that all of these credit unions are going to tokenize all of their assets and store them on this chain. And somehow that's going to translate into the token itself increasing in value. That's just simply not how it works. None of the credit union integrations require XPR as an asset in order to function. The credit unions are being offered a blockchain-based infrastructure program that they can use independent of the token. This same instance has occurred on multiple chains. This exists with Ethereum, and it does not translate to value to ETH. This exists with XRP and the ledger, and it does not translate to value for that token. It exists with Stellar to the umpteenth degree compared to what MetalX has done, and it does not translate into value for XLM, the token. And again, you can fact check me on any of this stuff, but it requires critical thinking and objectivity when you're looking at it. And if you're speculating heavily on something that's this nascent, that's this risky, and every single time someone presents to you a case wherein you may be wrong about something you're saying and you meet it with pivoting and gymnastics and hostility, you are doing only yourself a disservice. I'm fine. I'm not going to buy this crap because, and if it didn't work this way, if I saw anything compelling, I would potentially change my mind about that. I'm not going to be precious about it, but the thing that the Fed Now thing, whatever you want, over 1,000 institutions applied to and received that Fed Now certification after they released that program in 2023. And it's fine. Okay. Yep. I know that you've done the research and you couldn't possibly have anything else to learn, and you have read everything that exists and you know exactly what it all means and all this stuff. I know that, Brian. I'm talking to everybody else. That's not how research works. So I promise you that you haven't read anything, and I promise you that you probably haven't read anything critical of the stuff that you're really into, because you're very clearly not interested in hearing an opposing point of view. And that's a bummer, because I worry that you're going to get hurt financially because of all of this. Your bias is going to lead you down a path that will hurt you financially, and that sucks. But that's a choice that you're free to make. But for everybody else, please don't be fooled by colorful, flowery language with government-related money terms. It rarely means anything.
Seavish says, "We are in the presence of greatness. Behold, Alex's big beef."
There it is.
Tonight's big beef is brought to you by Wendy's. I'm just kidding. But that would be a really good sponsored segment. If every time Alex had big beef with something, we could actually have a burger. Beyond Meat is the sponsor of tonight's big beef segment. I just want to echo what Alex said and tell you from perspective, this is just one guy's experience, but I would encourage you to fact check it because you can find a wealth of good information, and we can get you in touch with someone on a future show. That though we believe the future is multi-chain, people have been done dirty by this myth that there will have to be other crypto solutions in the future, and therefore mine is legitimate. This has as much of a chance at being adopted on a massive scale as whatever. But mostly the trend goes like this. When you look it up, I would challenge you. This is what you're going to see. Liquidity begets liquidity. All those institutions Alex named have chosen, according to the on-chain information you can verify at RWXYZ, mostly to put their assets on Aave and on Ethereum, because that's where the deepest liquidity is. It's where the most tested smart contracts are. It's where the most templates exist for building something like you want to build. Whether you're Bobby B down the street, a credit union, a community bank, or JP Morgan or BlackRock, that's why they build there. And what happens over time is that though there will be competitors, they are mostly emerging on a scale that is able to challenge ETH, or they quickly scale to that size. Somebody like Hyperliquid is a good example. They have scaled so large so quickly in such a sustained way for the last couple of years because what they have is a novel solution that people find value in and do not need to be paid to use. They don't need to pilot it. They want to put their money there now. ETH doesn't have something like that. That's why it's huge. Solana has emerged as a challenger to ETH because they have some novel things that ETH has struggled to do. Others, like the next new blockchain, the future of RWA, the tokenization platform that's compliant but doesn't have even $1 million of TVL, even $100 million of TVL, they are not as serious a contender unless and until they meet those other conditions, because that tells you that nobody's using them yet, not in a serious way. Alex, you want to give away one more Arculus wallet?
Yes.
And then, man, let's get out of here. Give you a second to scroll through your names, and I will pick a number when you tell me about what the cap for the number is. I hope it's not too big a number, because then everyone will feel better about their odds. But I also hope it's a big enough number to make me feel like it's a little juicy. While Alex counts out loud, let me say again, thank you for being the very best part of what we do. Don't forget, if you want to argue with us about Metallicus, you want to know how many colors of clothing Alex owns, or if you have a crypto question, the best place for it is community.rumshq.com. We are going to be back tomorrow with William Quigley to close out a great week of shows on the Rise Up Morning Show. He is the co-founder of Tether and the co-founder of Wax, an aspiring DJ, and our most returning, dare I say, favorite guest. He's great, and we can't wait for you to meet him if you haven't, or to welcome him back with us. Alex, have you got a number for me?
Yes, 18.
Okay, I'm going to pick number 9.
All right. Yeah.
We got the tension with a knife.
The winner is the one and only M.W. Jones.
M.W. Jones, congratulations to you. Send us a message on community.rumshq.com. I might ask Tori to respond to you, but either way, one of us is going to provide you with the sheet to fill out. We'll forward it promptly to Arculus. You can choose the XRP co-branded wallet. You can choose the silver and black classic Arculus wallet, or you can wait for the one and only 1 of 100 limited edition purple wallet. Order forms coming soon, and wallets coming soon after. Alex.
How long are we going to wait until we do like the art reveal for the purple one?
I have been pushing you to do it, and you were like, no, make them wait.
No, I know. I
on
still
the
say
record.
make them wait, but like when? When do we think?
We do it next week. We're gonna
Okay.
when we let me do this. It
Okay.
could be tomorrow, But maybe not because we have William. Maybe we'll do Monday. Let's set it for Monday. We're going to announce and open the order form Monday, assuming all the kinks are worked out with crypto payments, etc. We want to test it first and break it and make sure you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Then we're
going to
reveal the art.
Steklerich, I need you to try paying us a lot of times, and then we'll see how many of them break and don't go through.
I like that.
Everyone thanks Steklerich for his service, being the guinea pig to try paying us and getting rugged. I am a big fan of this.
Alex, you ready to do some points?
Yes, let's do it.
This is a big episode. We have a lot of really unique points to give out today, and I hope I do it right. Really strong, in a bad way, performance. Haven't seen this big a negative number since DeFi Carrot, and I am so sorry. Turbo holding us up. It's World Liberty Finance with 4 gwumps in last place, and it's not even close. Also with gwumps, looks like at least somebody's got 2 gwumps. Yes, 2 gwumps. It's Stabble. Try again next time. 1 gwump, Coach Ty, making April Fool's jokes about exploits. Scamming G-Love. I cannot believe that happened still. Direct mail scams. Nick O'Neill, that you asked me to go up and I asked you to be open-minded about.
I can't believe you're going to die on that hill.
I'm not dying on that hill. I'm just saying you might reconsider. On the board with 1 point, we've got DeWoofy. We have got the Rowdy Duchess. We have got Arculus.
Great username.
Excellent username. We have got Emily for her remarks. We've got Satoshi Nakamoto for saying ETH is just okay. Forgot this one. No Gwump. Gwump for no DMs on YouTube. We have got a ding for... That's all my 1 dingers. We got 2 dings for To Be Fair. We have got 2 dings for World Tyranny Finance, the rebrand. 2 dings for Seavish. And Alex, that means it's down to you and me.
Who could have seen this coming?
Oh my God, I can't believe I did this to myself.
Quick.
Even though I gave myself points for the number of countries who had spoken policy about the blockchain, and even though I gave myself a point there was something else I gave myself a point for that you did. And still we have a tie. Alex, you and I, we got 6 points.
Oh my God.
Neither of us is better than the other.
Does anyone believe that this is how this goes? Look at that face.
It is written in the magic notebook.
That's the face of the
that
centralized
is my personal notebook. This very, very revered ledger of truth that you cannot fork.
Evan, look, listen to me. I love you. We've been doing After Dark for more than a year. Nobody believes that you're running a clean game over here. All right, no one.
Alex, you have no legs to stand on. You win this game more than anyone else.
As I should. You're damn right I do.
Can you believe
Look at
this
him.
guy?
Look at this guy.
It's written in the logbook. Got it right here.
Get you a good logbook.
Get you a good logbook.
Alex, it's Charlie. Charlie and Alex.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being the best part of what we do. Alex, have you got a final thought?
Make Money says, Alex, we need another to keep score of the scorekeeper. I'm worried, though, that if I do that and I do accidentally lose one, that I will lose my leg to stand on. And I'm more confident in just like loudly proclaiming my conjecture that Evan is corrupt instead of having to do the work.
It's probably
as long as whoever the other scorekeeper is makes sure that they do corrupt it in my favor, then I will support your bid for official scorekeeper.
Yeah, I would be in favor of that too if there was a scorekeeper for the scorekeeper's scorekeeper. Let's see how far we can stack this chain.
We got to decentralize this thing.
Put a token on it. Pre-sale. We're selling nodes. Get in early.
Yeah. In the true spirit of crypto, let's decentralize it and then let's build a Ponzi scheme on top of it.
What could go wrong? I don't know, but when it happens, we're going to tell you about it. Everybody, we got to go. We got to get out of here. You've heard it all tonight, and whatever is left, we're going to share with you in the morning when we come back with William Quigley. Be there live or wherever you are, whenever you listen. And until next time, my friends, stay safe, be well. Everybody, rise up.